Good morning and welcome. Stock futures are higher to start the day as markets continue to digest the coming tightening signaled by the Federal Reserve in their meeting minutes earlier this week. Looking like those 50-point hikes that are indicated in a runoff of $95 billion a month had been weighing on markets, but looking to bounce back after we had a couple of red days in a row for both the S&P and the NASDAQ Dow as well. Yesterday closing up about just under 0.5%, so a little bit of a rebound in yesterday's action. Individually, we're going to watch some shares of CrowdStrike getting a deal with the DOD to secure some of their assets. Robinhood's going to be trading lower after they caught a downgrade from Goldman Sachs. And Elon Musk walked out to the stage in a cowboy hat to Dr. Dre music at the Cyber Rodeo event where they were highlighting their $1.1 billion factory in Austin. So Tesla will be back in play. Should be a wild one. It's Friday, April 8th. Trader TV Live starts now. Quick look at the big board here. You're going to see that, as we stated, slightly to the upside, but we'll take any green we can get. You've got the S&P up 0.25%. The Dow leading again, been somewhat strong as it's up 1/3%. The NASDAQ just under that 0.25%. You will see that crude oil recovering a little bit at that 1% mark to the upside after falling below that 100 a barrel. Pretty flat overall in the crypto space. You'll see Bitcoin very, very slightly down, even though Peter Thiel taking some aim at Warren Buffett and a few others over his stance on crypto. Not a lot of movement there, but we have seen a ton of movement this week. Like, we got a lot of volatility, boys, and I see you're ready, Sean. I see that Raptors hat on. We know what's up. We know we're going to the playoffs. I think we still got a tune up against Philly.
Fifth seed now, I think.
We got it's a 5 now, absolutely. So Raptors looking good. You know it's opening day today. I'm going to try not to talk too much baseball, but we still have a hectic day in the markets ahead.
I've actually trying to show you something. I've actually got my baseball socks on. If you can see that, my Blue Jays socks right there. So yeah, I've got the Raptors on. I've got the Blue Jays on, and we're about to get our game face on right now as well. I want to give a big shout out today. Thank you so much to Garrett, and I'm going to steal Valeria's thunder here because that's a big one right there. Valeria will also give a big thank you. Thank you so much to Garrett for that one. Yeah, Pink Floyd, new track today. I wonder how many people knew that. Dropping that today, new Pink Floyd track. I actually saw them live in Buffalo at one point. So that was a pretty cool concert. But what's up to Pink Floyd fans? And thank you, Garrett, for that super chat to start off the day. It's going to be a crazy, crazy Friday. Oh, the sticky note's not even out yet. So how about that? I'm going to take a picture of this, send this out very, very soon. But we got some good names on there, including Twitter is on the sticky note today. Neil talked about Tesla. I like what that's going on over there. And I got a big man to my right here. Arun is back in the building for one more time. And then 4 more next week, and then Good Friday, and we should be having a relatively exciting day today. I'm not sure how much the market will move, but definitely if we're trading the right names, we should be in the right spaces today. So looking at a few key ones, anything early on your mind here, Arun?
HPQ, we're back on that track again. We took that short yesterday, got ran over. It's done what it needed to do above 40. Now we're working underneath. Let's take a look at that short potentially again one more time south of 40. See if you can't take that to the downside, and maybe this time it works out. But that's one name I'm looking at apart from Crowd, and also Disney on the radar as well for me. Futures are sitting in an interesting spot though, because if we fall, remember when we closed out yesterday, I said any shorts that set up inside this zone, I want it. If we can get through 4,500, I'm considering the idea of taking that short against that 4,530. That's an option. If that goes, when you look at the daily, it may be a slow day today, but or as of right now. But if we can actually get that short in there, we have space all the way down towards those 50s again. So maybe we get going. If we can get that short going, there's potential for the downside to open up a little bit. Flip side is, if we take the 30s out, then you open up the upside towards 45.75 and change. So market's at an interesting spot to start the day. It's somewhat quiet, but I don't know. I have very little confidence that this is going to stay this way. I think we're going to open up in one direction or the other, and we're going to get this going. And this should be an interesting way to close out the week there, Neil.
Absolutely. And before we get too far ahead of ourselves, of course, we need to go over and say good morning to Miss V. We're slightly green. You're in the green. Hopefully it's good luck.
That's right, Neil. And hey guys, I wish you a successful, productive day. Please smash the like button and big shout out to Garrett Wotow for sending us 100 super chat. Have a fantastic day, Garrett, and let's get it started, Neil.
Yes, let's get it started. Good way to get it started there. And thank you very much, Garrett, as well. Before we jump into things, this just sort of came across. I know C-Change, we've traded before, SEAC. They're up about 17%. They got higher revenues, just seeing some of their numbers come across the board here. But trading pretty much about $1.34 there to the upside. I'm not sure why that chart didn't flip, but on the daily chart, you're seeing it break about a 130 right now. So increased volume on SEAC. But I wanted to jump right into this Tesla thing because there were a few headlines when it came to Tesla. We talked about the rodeo one. It'll be on the watch list as well, but there was also a recall here. So 128,000 cars were recalled in China due to a fault that could increase the risk of vehicle collision. This is not the first time they've been down this road before, but it just is a Chinese recall. Tesla slightly up, but mostly sideways on the heels of this, I guess, cyber rodeo event where they announced a lot. They got the robot coming along here. What do we think of Tesla today? It feels like there's a lot of news, but maybe not too much substance when it comes to them. And they have been sliding recently.
Yeah, I'm just loading up my chart here, but yeah, they've been sliding, but I mean, they've been sliding with the market, right? And I think that that's sort of what Tesla's going to wind up doing here is following the market a little bit. I mean, it's going to be hard for them to be up in a NASDAQ down day. We've talked about the weighting and what Tesla means to the market and things like that. But look, I'm excited about the new factory, and I think you're bumping up to a big level. And it's written on the sticky note that I'm just getting ready to get out through right now. But this 1072 level here, I kind of like this here. It was the top yesterday before we dropped down to 1030, bounced back, and we couldn't take out 1065. So if there's any good news, you go back here just a couple days back to April Fool's, and then the day that night as well, and the morning after that, you do have a stop spot there, and then all the way back to March 28th. It's the same. I mean, whether or not it's 10, I wrote down 1072 on the sticky note, which is coming, but 1075, 1072, 1080, all the same kind of level here. I just feel like you got to crack through that, and then that's going to be the trigger for the upside. It's either a short or a long off that level if we can get to that. If we don't test anywhere near this 1070 today, and we may not, man. Like right now we are down. I don't know why my chart's still not loading on our system there. Hopefully it will now. You're at 1050 now, so that's still another $20 to the upside before we even get to any actionable levels for me. Otherwise, I mean, the 1050 is right there. I don't know. That's probably going to break before the market opens, so I'm not super interested there. But yeah, I would like to respect these bottoms if we can get down there again, 1030. So look, for me, I think it's another one of those inside days, right? We talked about that yesterday. You got a big move up, then a big move back. Big move down, then a big move back up, and then a settle down for where we are now, kind of in the middle of that range. So I don't know. I don't really see anything moving the needle here. I know you mentioned the cowboy hat, the new plant. I mean, it's on my sticky note. It's the #1 name on there, but I don't really want to do anything other than go long, to be honest with you. I feel like the NASDAQ could bounce back today. We did have, I mean, it's coming back in though. We did have a crazy move yesterday in the NASDAQ, and again, probably, okay, it is going to load, but this is overnight and everything like that. Big move down here. This is yesterday during the day, so we start off nice and high there. Big tank down, and then I don't know what reversed this. I don't know if you know anything about this, Arun, but something reversed this market in the middle of the day. I didn't really see any major news stories come through or anything on that, so if I'm missing something, fine, but that's a big move back up. This is like a day trader's dream here. You hit the short in the morning, the long in the afternoon, and let's just see if that repeats itself today. So the pattern right now is trying to test these bottoms. We'll see if it continues to go, but we have to watch out for some of these bottoms here, 14,500, and if we get to that and bounce, then I do like that Tesla bounce off of 1030.
Yeah, well, when it comes to NASDAQ, it was sitting at a support level. So a bounce makes sense in that area. I mean, that aggressively, that wasn't expected, but at the same time, we're sitting at a support area. So a move back up kind of makes sense from 325 back up into what was like 500, 14.5. It makes perfect sense for us to move that much, but not that fast. Anyways, 14,200 is going to be marked off. We'll talk about it when we get to the futures. In terms of Tesla, I don't trade Tesla, right? I have cutoffs. For me, anything above a certain price, I don't trade, especially because it becomes very volatile and very hard to read in terms of volume. Yes, Tesla does a lot of volume, but at the same time, it's difficult to get a handle on it. So I just kind of stay away from it. So Tesla, I have no comments on whatsoever, because if I'm not going to trade it, I'm not going to put up levels because I'm not actually, paying attention to it. So we're just going to go back to Neil and we'll let it be.
Thank you very much there, Arun. I want to get to one name, and we keep telling ourselves that we're not going to write off a lot of these earnings plays, but it's not necessarily on the watch list simply because it didn't have pre-market volume. But WD-40, which, solid name company, I think people know. They reported this morning at 141 on their Q2 earnings, and their full year, they're seeing $5, 514 to 527 full year sales looking strong. It was beats across the board for them, and this is not normally a stock that you're going to see move a heck of a lot, but up 11% currently, and on the daily chart, I mean, it's been basically doing almost nothing, and it usually doesn't do a heck of a lot, but I can't help but notice that it's getting right back to this 195 area, which has been resistance, been very sideways, and then it had room to 250. It's just been slowly grinding down here. In the midst of what we've seen for some consumer type names post earnings, is this something that maybe we should be looking at 9:30 when it comes in, or the lack of volume just going to be doing us in here?
DFC.
Is this the kind of day that we're having here?
Yeah,
You talked about WD-40, and I thought that we had like a squeak in our back door there. But no, not even on my radar. 9,000 shares, hard pass. I'm getting this sticky note up for you guys. I'll
take a look at it just because Neil brought it up. Usually, if it's trending and it makes a move like that,
that's a big move to the downside.
Yeah, it's a big move from what is it? From the break point was probably like 225 or so, and then here we are trading at 174. 174.5 as of yesterday, and now we're moving back up towards okay, that makes perfect sense as to why this is something to watch, because Sean mentioned volume's low. You got to wait for the open. It's not even traded at the open. Wait for like the first 10-15 minutes, see how much volume comes in, and then figure it out. But the problem with a stock like this is it could also be gone by the time you wait 10-15 minutes, right? The initial move could be done. What can we potentially do with it? Let me pull up 30-minute chart, see. We got nothing on the 30, so we're gonna have to work with the daily because that's where the last big levels were. Let's get this one out. Okay, 180's been cleared, 190, 194, we're up here, and now you gotta worry about the 200. I think all we can really do at this point is mark off that 195 to 200, see what 200 brings, and then if it comes back down towards that 195, you can use that support base. But again, this is one of those things where you mark off levels, and then you come back to them after they've developed enough volume. So we're gonna leave that be and see if we can't actually work with it later. I'm not gonna do anything with it except put out an alert at 200, see what happens, and see if we can actually get triggered on the 200 alert for us to then look at it again later on.
All right, yeah, when we're ready, we'll go back over to Neil, and I believe we got a guest coming up soon.
Thank you very much. Usually we have Michael Noss come through from Trade Ideas, but we're very, very fortunate today to have a very special guest as well. But we're going to have Chris Varley on from Trade Ideas, who's going to give us a little bit of a rundown as to what he is looking for as well. So, look, it's been a wild week, obviously, Chris, and welcome to our show. So I know everyone's always looking for different types of ideas and different types of trading setups out there. So we're happy to be able to get your perspective. First time on, glad to see you.
Thank you so much for having me on. Big shoes to fill. Michael and his wife welcome newborn Charles. So big shout out to them. Very honored that he'd select me to, fill those big shoes of his. So, much like Michael, I prefer to swing trade over day trade. The environment that we've had hasn't been as conducive to maybe the last few years where a buy and hold was a lot easier. But the idea is, find the trend, buy stocks going up. And, there's different ways to find those trends and the interest and the volume in those. And so what I have to share here with you folks today is a scan that I use within Trade Ideas. I'm looking at stocks that have a high volume percentage compared to its last 10-day average. And they're also in the upper 25% range of the 20-day low, essentially. So, trying to find things that are breaking out with that that have a new interest in them in the options market, but trade the stock side of those. And so that's what I'm showing here in that first slide that if we have up there. As we scan through these slides here, the first one that I'd come to is a chart CEG, power distribution company, electric utilities. Michael's been big on those the last few weeks. And so that's one of these stocks that came through. I have a few lines that are drawn on there. There's a trend line. We lost that trend line in the middle of March and then regained it again. So we have a ascending triangle essentially going into new all-time highs with that. A few other marks that are on there. Red line is kind of where I think I'm wrong. Green line is actually a pullback that I'm hoping to get for an entry either today or maybe in the coming days with that for an idea. As we slide down on those slides there, it's just a few stats that I have that are noted there. Again, lifetime high. I like buying stocks that are going up. There's no chart resistance on that. We're also looking to see that it was 590% of normal options volume yesterday, meaning it was doing almost 6 times what it's normally doing in the options market. And we're safe from earnings that we have there for what we're reporting. Moving down on the next slide, we're looking at ZETA. It's a publishing marketing company. What I like on this chart here is this beautiful horseshoe pattern up that we're coming out of through last month into this month. And again, the red and green line that I'm marking, where I think I'm wrong and where I'm trying to make an entry on this. I found a lot of stocks recently that, continue to push up, things that I thought were extended kind of have kept running. And so that's why I'm interested in this. And again, moving towards that next slide here, the stats on that, we're looking at, 7 times normal options volume yesterday. Again, we're looking at a lifetime high and we're nowhere near any earnings. So we're safe there. Move on, our next chart, CYTX, same kind of pattern that Zeta had, another data processing center. Again, I'd love to see a little bit of a pullback to give me an entry into this here. I like those horseshoe patterns up, especially when we're near these all-time highs like this is. I can have those real explosive moves out of those. And in the tape that we've had where we've been very choppy and, very wild the last few days, especially with the SPY, seeing a stock that closed strong like that yesterday on a weak actual 15-minute bar close on that SPY is nice to see. Look here again, the stats on this, we're doing nearly 7 times the options volume that we've done over the last 10 days. Again, we're at a lifetime high. Again, we're safe from earnings. So, these are the kind of things that I'm looking at when I'm trying to find something 2-3 day possible hold. Of course, rising tide lifts all boats, so it wouldn't hurt to have the market on our side. Last stock that we're going to get into, OLLI. This one here, a little different than what we're looking at, trying to find maybe a trend reversal here. So we've had a gap and go over the last few days. It's a bargain outlet. So it's a bit of a story that's here. Rising gas prices, rising food prices. Spring is coming, summer close, all these things like that. So perhaps people moving back into these bargain spaces, trying to find whatever they can to save that cost of dollar that has been increased on them recently. Again, a few notes with the red and green lines there. Red line, that's where I feel I'm wrong, coming back down, filling that gap that happened a few days ago. Green line is actually a second thought here that we have a gap there that runs almost all the way to 60. And so, we would like to look at gaps and possible gap fills, giving that catalyst. And last slide to give the stats on there, something again a little different. We've got a short float of nearly 19% and a short growth that's negative about 6%. So we can see the shorts have been moving out a little bit. Not quite as much, not quite as strong options volume as the other stocks that we just looked at. There's 3.5 times its normal options, 3.5 times normal options volume over the last 10 days, but still something significant and worth noting here. So that's what I brought to the table for us today. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Absolutely. And what I love about that especially is because everyone talks about short float, but realistically, the last couple of years, especially last year and this year, it's options volume that has really been driving these markets, even in some of the big caps. I notice you favor some of those smiley faces as well. Just one quick question, not to put you on the spot, but all these there, does it ever factor in that you get a little bit of sector strength that might also be bringing the markets up? Do you look at maybe like ETFs or related names to give it that extra bump?
Absolutely. I keep a sector list up at all times. I sort it on a few different items, one of them being a position in 5-day range. And, so especially, when I'm scanning, I try to look for themes and, oftentimes you'll see retail stocks appearing over and over again. So if, I've gone through 100 charts and 50 of those charts are retail stocks, I want to pay attention to the retail sector. Right now, utilities have been very strong. They've continued to be strong. Uranium has been strong the last few days. I didn't come across any uranium stocks specifically that I liked enough to share here, but it absolutely has to be a factor in it. Again, a lot of people say, oh, it's an easy market. Rising tide lifts all boats over the last 10 years. But if you're making money, why wouldn't you use that? Why would we be upset about making money? And so you want to go to where things are strong. Everybody, I think, has a tendency to want to be a contrarian, and I don't think there are many contrarians that make money. The trend, as everybody says, the trend is your friend. Buy the smiley faces.
There you go. Love it. Thank you so much, Chris, for coming on. Once again, Chris Varley from Trade Ideas. All the best. Have a fantastic weekend. Good luck on all of your trades.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Take care, folks. Have a great weekend.
There you have it. So a fantastic guest, Ollie Oxenfree. I was trying not to say that one, but I think the last time we brought that name up, we had to give that fun nod. But obviously some great ideas out there. We talk about the trend all the time, mattering in some of these sectors that are hot. But thanks again to Chris. But your thoughts on a few of those names, Ollie? I like that setup. That trend reversal sometimes can give you some strength.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we got these guys on from Trade Ideas. I mean, absolutely fantastic ideas. Tons of different names and names that we might not be looking at, right? And they might not be the best for day trading, but they're different kind of setups. We saw Arun yesterday taking DoorDash and a few of those other names, Home Depot and things like that when they set up, especially on a more of a macro frame, or I guess not even macro, but just a larger time frame there on the market. So, I like to look at a 1 minute, a 3 minute, so on and so forth. We've got Microsoft up here. That was a good trade for us yesterday. We had a monster long off 300 and got that out at 303.2 there. One piece out for like 70 cents. And then remember, Arun, we were talking about that. That turned out to be a decent out there where, you kind of convinced me to hold this all the way to the upside, which was good there. So we were able to get out at 30, actually, no, it's 303 break. So 303 break there, so $3 in on that one. But today's a very special day in our family because it's my parents' 50th wedding anniversary. So I'm going to say happy anniversary to you guys. And obviously, what an inspiration to many of us. 50 years is incredible. So to my parents, happy anniversary. And thanks for tuning in right now. Enjoy your day off, my father, who for some reason is still working at this age, but dedicated to his, role there, and just like I am, and just like you are, Neil and Brendan and all of us, that's what it takes. It's a very, very special person, my father and my mother. So, damn it, I knew I'd get emotional about it, but happy anniversary, guys, and thank you for everything.
Yep, congrats and happy anniversary to the Katina family there.
There we go.
So
Thanks, everyone, for
that's
that.
Huge, actually. 50 years, that's huge. So of course, emotional makes sense. All right, to trade, somebody was asking me, what am I doing with SST? Well, it's gone already. We're up 80 cents. It's flirting with 32. I'm just carrying forward yesterday's trade. If anybody was watching from the afternoon show, you guys know that I was working longs here in that 27 or 27 half area. Anyways, 27.37, I believe, is the price. I was working that same trade. Essentially, I was looking for this run up because you could see that there was a ton of shorts coming in, but nobody was willing to go far enough down to get it going. So we just kept kind of moving up. And then the only reason I even saw this is because somebody in the chat posted it. So continue posting stuff because I did not see this overnight move. And then I saw it, I'm like, oh, this is getting closer and closer to where I want it to go. So why not? They're working the 31s, stepping at 31. The risk on this isn't going to be that high, especially if I can get it to run right at the open. Right? So if we can get it going right at the open, this can move very aggressively to the upside. So 31's providing some volume, got in at 31. Here we are now at 31.90, as high as 32.50 at one point, 80 cents in the money. I mean, there's a lot left. There's a lot of time left, and a lot can happen between now and the open. So we're going to wait for this market to get open. In the meantime, we're going to go to Neil on the big screen with upgrades and downgrades.
First things first, happy anniversary, Jordan Debs. You guys know how great you were to us back in the day. So all of the high school buddies, we love you guys, and congratulations. It's just such an awesome thing, 50 years. Although my back still hurts from moving that TV, George. So I don't know about that. Sean knows exactly what I'm talking about there. Upgrades and downgrades. Look, there's going to be a few names on here you will remember from yesterday. But you want to highlight, we'll get to CrowdStrike because that's a big deal for them to get that DOD deal. But Kroger reporting and also getting an upgrade as well. And then you have Target So some of these retail names starting to get that push. We mentioned Target yesterday when you had Costco strength and Walmart as well. On the downgrade side of it, remember SoFi. SoFi catching the downgrades, really weak in yesterday's trade. It's Robinhood getting the nod from Goldman today, down 5%, and they cited weak growth. So not a good look for Robinhood so far. HP, I mean, like UBS with a bit of a downgrade here. I mean, look, you saw what happened with them with Berkshire and the price target 40. We'll see, but Uncle Warren seems to think otherwise. Alibaba flat despite getting a downgrade from HSBC. There was some pressure on some of the U.S. Listed Chinese names yesterday. Today, a little bit more on the flat side. DiDi's actually up a little bit, and they're trying to make a rebound like the rest of tech.
Yeah, we have, and yeah, thanks, Neil. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Neil's back permanently hurt. We had this, like, I don't know what it was, like 100-pound. It was back in the day when we had a big screen TV, but it was like from the 70s. But it was like a 70-inch TV. So if you can imagine kind of what that looked like, and it had like a big wood stand at the bottom type of thing, and it was just ridiculous. And we moved it. They moved houses, and so the friends came and helped with that. So thank you, Neil, for that. Yeah, I didn't even remember that, but a few other friends that were there, Jeff and so on and so forth, helping with that. But okay, on to trading now. Yeah, so look, we have a couple of those names on our list right now. We have Robinhood on there. I feel like Robinhood is definitely, and we'll get to all this. These are all also on our watch list on tradertv.live. So we have Robinhood on there, and I have SoFi. And honestly, I know SoFi is a beloved name here on the show, but they got bad news from POTUS there coming through when President Biden mentioned that the student loan relief would continue and extend. So SoFi here in the last couple of days off that news started to get going back to $10 off that $7 bottom or so. And then now you're just retesting those bottoms again. This is a 20-minute chart. So that's the very bottom, I believe, for SoFi back here, 770. We bounced off there yesterday. We made that bottom again on the news. So let's see where we go now with SoFi. Unfortunately, I still like the short into this $9 level. You have that $9 shelf right there, kind of respected at the open and close back on, in March there, and again in early to late March again. And right now, that was kind of the spot where we stopped and then dropped. So for me, I like SoFi on the short side of things. And look, I own SoFi shares, so this really sucks. Like down here, down at these lows, I feel like them getting that bank charter was great news, but we're going to try to short this thing. They had a monster rally there off that NASDAQ move yesterday afternoon, so that was probably not deserved for SoFi. It's just the fact that they caught the bid there with the rest of the market, and now you're up high today. So I don't mind if this goes against me, don't get me wrong, but I'm looking at this $9 level here, and we're going to start to build it around $8.50 if it comes through, and then up there's 9. I mean, that's $8.85, but it's close enough to 9. So I like that. And again, another big shout out here. Thank you so much for the super chat. Goes out to Garrett again. Thank you so much for that. It's Pink Floyd Friday, new track being released. So thank you so much for that. We have no affiliation with Pink Floyd, but respect the music.
Absolutely. Futures. It's about 9 o'clock. Let's get into futures. Why not?
Let's do this.
All right, let's take a quick look at the ES because that's what I'm looking at potentially on the short side. Maybe, I don't know, not yet though, but definitely something to watch up here. Remember this whole zone that I marked off? I want to see if I can find a short somewhere in here. We're going to use the 30-minute chart just to show you what the structure looks like. I'm looking at 45.30 as the top end level, same level as yesterday. We never got high enough. So I have like a cutoff on maximum risk I'll ever put on a futures trade. So if we can't get within those bands, I won't take the trade, even if I like the setup. Like I really did like the short setup yesterday, but I'm not going to price it at 85 because I would need to price it into the 90s for it to make sense on the risk side of things. Now we're into the 90s. I can price something here. I just got to figure out where I'm going to do it and how I'm going to do it. I do like the idea of going short against this 45.30. We're seeing enough action here. Yes, I'm long 2 stocks while I'm looking for shorts on the futures, but they have their own little thing going on, so we're going to leave them be. But for the time being, I'm looking for potentially a short. Between now and the open, I should have enough information. I would think I should have enough information between the volume and the action to figure out whether I actually want to go short into the 4500s or if I want to wait a little bit lower into the 4490s itself. But that's what I'm looking for. This market still could catch a bid in the mid-90s and pop right up to 45.30, so that could become a problem. So you do have to watch out for that. So we're going to just wait is all we're going to do. We know it's ready. It's getting close to being ready for a potential trade. Whether it's going to be done now or it's going to have to be waited on, and we'll take it in a bit. We're just going to have to get some more information before we do that. And the bottom end level is 44.45. It's there, but I really don't trust it as a solid level to go long off of. It's just a reference point for me in the event that we go through it. I know that I have to work some shorts, but I'm not going to rush to go for longs in front of it either. The reason I say this is because of what the daily looks like. Let's push right into the daily chart on the ES. Essentially, it looks like this, right? If you take out that 45 level right there, then you run into more action into the 20s and then evens. It gets very, very messy very, very quickly. So I'm not going to look at the short side on a break, but I would be open to taking shorts in the event that we broke through, came back, resisted, and then started moving back down. At that point, I have enough, like there's not enough buying, so we can go for the short. That's what I'm looking to do. That's what I'm looking to do on the ES side of things. Now, NASDAQ is a completely different story, because if you look at the daily, it's got so much more space on either direction. So you're looking at 14,200 on the bottom. It makes sense that there's a buy zone between 14.4 and 14.2. And then you have resistance pretty much from 14.7 going up to 14.850. So you're looking at about here. So you're kind of wedged in here. You've got space to the upside, space to the downside. It doesn't want to really do a whole lot here. So we're just going to have to kind of let this market decide which zone do you want to go into. Do you want to go to the upside or do you want to go to the downside? Let it decide. It's got space, right? So it's not ready to go just yet. So we are going to prioritize the ES. I primarily trade the ES anyways. So we'll just wait for this market. The way it's moving, I may have to go after this at 4,500. But again, it's a little early. We still got half an hour before this market opens. So a lot can change between now and then.
Thank you very much, Sarah Arun. So this is what it's all about. Have a bit of a plan of action. Love having Arun on, so we get the benefit of those levels as well. Everybody does get the benefit of checking out our free daily watch list. Just go to watchlist.tradertv.live. You can scan the QR code as well. See what is actually moving in the market, because you want that catalyst. Sometimes you might go sideways and you want something that has action to it, whether it's small cap, whether it's big cap. And we talked a little bit about the first name on the list there, Tesla. So I don't know if we need to jump right back to it, but I think the second one on the list, guys, Robinhood. Catching that downgrade. Now, 4 straight days of declines for Robinhood going into this, and they got downgraded from neutral to sell by Goldman Sachs. Price target from 15 to 13. I mean, I don't know if that's saying much, but this is a name where we remember this from the IPO, and it had that bit of a run, which was a bit of a meme run there to the upside, and then you're seeing it just slide down. It's testing towards its all-time lows, just around that or just below that $10 mark, within earshot of those levels. I actually see it just spike down downside right now. Ooh, Sean, you just got it.
Just got to hit that position alert right there. I just said enough is enough, honestly, because I was waiting, and I still am. This is just a baby starter position with still a half hour to go. But Goldman Sachs comes out here and hammers down Robinhood. They gave a price target cut from 15 to 13. So even right now, you're at 11. So, it still has, it's not like this is yesterday's Rite Aid call where it's going down to 0. But right now, Robinhood, I believe that to be true. I think there is less engagement right now. As these stocks that a lot of Robinhooders, I guess, trade, SoFis of the world, the Clovers, AMC, GME, things like that, as these stocks continue to make new lows, and maybe not new lows, but lower lows anyways, as we're going, I feel like engagement is probably right here for Goldman Sachs to call them out on that. I feel, you don't look at your portfolio when it's just drowning, and I feel if they're not going to have people in there executing trades, then yeah, it's not going to be a profitable business and might not be a great quarter. So for now, we will begin to short Robinhood. And I wrote down here on the sticky note that the real only level that I'm concerned with is yesterday's little peak high there, 1225, 1220. If we get back up to there, then we'll say we're done with it. And I guess we're just wrong. I don't see, unless this market screams today, I just don't see Robinhood getting back to positive, and that's what I'm going with. And I don't know, maybe it's wrong, maybe it's right. We're going to play it today, just like we played Rite Aid yesterday, just like we played Ford yesterday on breaks of levels. Robinhood's breaking through this $11, and I think that's what's going to happen. And if it does that, then I want to be short. You nailed it there, Neil. We talked about it. It's on the sticky note. It's 4 straight days. Remember they got some sort of an upgrade. What was that news? Oh, that was on pre-market extending trading hours. So, you know, what kind of a move is, like, this is what you have to worry about. When they come out just by extending trading hours, get this kind of a bump up, we know there's a lot of love, especially Kathy Wood's ARC and things like that. A lot of funds want to take shots maybe at Robinhood now. I always think Robinhood is a potential buyout candidate. We've seen Morgan Stanley and TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, some of those discount brokerages got taken out in the last couple of years. You're going to see possibly a bid come for Robinhood. You don't buy the stock for that reason. When that comes, then we get excited about it. But for right now, Robinhood continues to make new lows here. And if we look at a daily chart, I mean, this is pretty much, you know, the epitome, the height. Crypto was going crazy. Dogecoin was going crazy. Everything. Robinhood definitely came out at the right time. But now you're seeing, you know, the carnival that is Robinhood continues. It looks like I see its all-time low here being about 960 or 970, so it gives us a little bit of room to go here on the downside. Regardless of all this jibber-jabber that I'm saying, I like the short in Robinhood, and I like it up until 1225. So we take a baby position right now because I'm just like, oh, I can't stand this thing to break lower and I don't have any shares. So we'll do that. My offers right now are at 1180 and higher, all the way up to 1225. And hey, if we get busted on this one, then we're busted and not much I can do about it. But I like the short. And I'm actually going to put another offer in here somewhere, 1160, 1150. I don't know if we get bumped up to there, but hey, I'll average into this one at 1150, Arun.
Yeah, I agree with you on the short side. It's
buddy.
that 12 even break that opened the door, and the fact that we couldn't hold it overnight after getting all the way up to, what was it, 1220, and then getting back underneath that 1150 opens the door for a short. This is exactly what Sean called. He paid for the shorts, I didn't, so that's why I'm not in it. As you can see, they were cheap, but still, I'm cheaper, so we're not taking those shares on the short side. I'll stick with the two trades that I've got now, SSD and Disney. Remember, SSD is that's nowhere close to being done, right? We were up $1, we were down 50 cents, now we're up 26 cents. It's flying all over the place. I want to see what the open brings. And then Disney's out 8 cents, and that's all I've got. With the futures, I'm waiting to see. I kind of changed my mind a little bit with the futures. I want to see what 44.90 brings to the table. 44.90 to 44.85 brings to the table. If we can get underneath and stay underneath, then I think I might price some. I might also start averaging into it, because don't want to pay underneath 44.90 or too far underneath 44.90 to get the short, but I also may not be able to get the price that I want. So what I'll start doing is planning ahead of time. I'm thinking I might have to start averaging into my position so I can actually get the average price in the range that I want it to be, so I'm not too far out in terms of risk, right? So that's kind of what I'm planning right now. 44.90 is going to give me enough information. With about 23 minutes left, I should have enough information by the time we get to the open on whether I should actually wait for the averaging price south of 44.90 or if I actually should just wait for a bounce and try to catch it inside that range. But I am looking on the short side for the futures. Not yet, but I am looking at the moment.
And not always a bad idea to get more information and be patient with that entry point. Yesterday, HPQ was a strong stock gapping up, but you wanted to be patient because when you caught that base, I think it was like 48, or it might have been. You had that great little base. I think Sean, you caught that dip buy. Sometimes it pays, even if you like that long. You don't have to chase it. Speaking of which, next on our list we got CrowdStrike and the DoD here. Look, they're up pre-market after they got authorization to protect U.S. Department of Defense assets. Now, I think anyone can understand that that's going to be good for them. They also catch an upgrade from Deutsche Bank, raising their price target up to 270 from 240. And sort of, if you have a quick look at the daily chart, we are sort of on the midst of, well, I mean, it's close enough to this recent high at about 234 that you might get yourself a little bit of a breakout on the daily. But much like HPQ, and sort of why I just said that is it's starting to come back in here a little bit. So what are we doing here with CrowdStrike? The cybersecurity sector has been relatively strong, of course, with everything that is going on over in Europe. But what do we do here? Starting to pull back, now down about $3 from pre-market highs.
Yeah, I have CrowdStrike. I mean, great contract. I mean, obviously, whenever you get one of those going through the Department of Defense, you're doing quite well. And cybersecurity, especially with everything going on with Russia and Ukraine, China as well. Like, hacking is not going anywhere. And yeah, even I believe it wasn't in the State of the Union, or maybe President Biden had another speech there where he was talking about firms need to increase their security on their servers and on their everything, on their databases, whatever. So yeah, right now you're bumping up against that 200 period from what I can see here at 230. The problem with buying it now is we've already sort of based down here at 160, 170. So regardless of getting a new contract, we've seen Palantir get new contracts, we've seen CrowdStrike as well, Datadog, lots of different names. They come out and then it gets bumped up, and then it's just like, well, whatever, man. The market is just continuing to go down, so why do we want to own one of these sort of high-flyer tech stocks, right? And regardless of sort of the contracts that they get, I'm just going to find out what the PE is. It's probably still in the 30s. Not 30s. What am I even talking about right here? FinViz has their PE right now at 135 for CrowdStrike. So yeah, not really a Palo Alto type name here, but you are paying up. You know, when I don't know any other, I mean, there's a lot of other names that I think, like a Tesla and stuff like that, that have big PEs that you might want to get into now, I feel anyways. But CrowdStrike, it can still come back down. Even their PE would still be out of control, even if we went back down to 160, 170. So look, I like the name, I like the stock, and I think that if you're going to diversify, if you're not in any cybersecurity names, I like PanW a little bit better than CrowdStrike. Let's have a quick look at that. A little more of an expensive name, obviously up to $600, but it's expensive for a reason. They continue to work, and again, you get those bases that you know, both of these stocks formed just about a month ago down here. Palo Alto a little bit more, you know, consistent here, but you know, again, CrowdStrike with the big deal today. And you're going to probably look at this from a more of a daily chart type of thing here, Arun. And I just think you got to get above. I think you got to still get above this 230. I mean, there is a level here, maybe 228 to break on CRW, but the 20-minute doesn't really give us that much. So there's 232. You know, it can get there. Don't think that you can't go $10 on a $200 name. So I would think that you got to break out before this gets interesting to me. So I'd have to look at it 232, 233 before I start trading this, especially if I think this is going to be an inside day. But the NASDAQ, Arun, starting to hit some
Slide a little bit.
new lows here.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe we should be looking short rather than longs.
I'm going to use this dip. As much as I want to go for shorts on the futures south of 44.90, if we can get there and stay underneath and all that fancy stuff. CrowdStrike, I've got a bid out actually. I'm trying to get long on CrowdStrike into the 220s. So my whole thing with CrowdStrike was when you look at the movement from yesterday, before we get to that, I'll take a look at the daily. You see the amount of hesitation on the way up from, I guess, March 23rd onwards. As we try to get through this 220, every time we dip down, we caught a bid. And now we traded underneath it for a couple days and try to get through. Even yesterday where we got through and then ended up closing at 217. Well, then you go into, say, the 5-minute chart, and then you see the overnight action. We run right through that 220, and then we've got sideways action. So clearly we've gotten past that 220 resistance or previous support, which turned into resistance, which is now back to being support, I guess, as the futures fall off. I want to use this 220 as a potential bouncing point. So I've got bids out, see if I can catch a bid as the market comes back down. There's 2 longs already. I'm probably going to get into a 3rd long. At the same time, I'll be looking for shorts on the futures. So mix and match is the name of the game today for me anyways, as the futures has now broken 44.90, which is the area that I want to see what it's going to do here, because this will tell me whether I should wait for a bounce or if I should get a little bit more aggressive and start averaging into the position down here somewhere. Valeria.
Hey traders, welcome everyone who just joined us. We need just 300 more likes to get to 1K. So team, please hit thumbs up and let's continue with Neil.
Thank you, Ms. V. 1,000. Let's get to that number. And look, this next one, we're going to talk Kroger a little bit and Kroger's strength. They got upgraded by Bank of America. But this is as much an excuse to talk about the sector, some of these consumer names that have been ridiculously strong the last couple of days. So Kroger's up to 3%. They've got the upgrade. And you'll see over here on the chart, like they're breaking out on the daily. But this is as much a story about Kroger, and I know we had Rite Aid to the downside in yesterday's action, but as it is about what's going on with Costco. And Costco might be flat today, but you saw Walmart and Costco both breaking out. So this continued story of possible R-word recession coming in, and strength in some of these consumer retail type of names here has been a bit of a theme. So if we're doing anything with this sector, what are we doing today? Because they've been leading. I mean, yesterday, this is where the strength was. It was in your Costco's, it was in your Walmarts, and now again with Kroger on an upgrade. So what are we doing with some of these names today?
I actually I was surprised. I sold some Walmart about 148 or so, and I think we talked about that on the show. I was really surprised at Walmart's bump up here, and I talked about it yesterday that I was like, wow, I can't believe how outperforming Walmart is. And then it made sense to me because you guys were mentioning that, hey, in a recession, you're going to get the cheaper sort of flow money coming into retail, right? We see Macy's to the downside. What is it, JWN here, Nordstrom's. Let's check out what they're doing. 27, yeah, I believe that's to the downside too, with $27 coming through as well. Yeah, so complete opposite. Our chart's taking a little bit of time here. Actually, Nordstrom's still not bad, but off of its highs as well. So this name, actually, Nordstrom's working out pretty good here. You want to talk about Kroger? We don't have Kroger here in Canada, but I'm assuming that this is similar to sort of a value department store, I guess. Upside there, not I guess. I mean, that is what it is. So $62, they're taking that out right now. Again, food inflation. Who knows, man? Big strength from Costco, like Neil mentioned as well. You talked about Costco yesterday. I think you come at the king. In tech is going to be Apple, and retail is going to be Costco. Costco continues to work, and look at Kroger. I mean, this is a fantastic name. $44 up to $61 and breaking out again today. So, I mean, you had a huge breakout here yesterday, $59, and boom to the upside there. I guess the breakout was 2 days ago on 59. That's a nice little daily break there. What's the volume like? 81,000. Not bad. Too light to get involved right now. But again, if you dip anywhere back into $60 here today for Kroger, which you might do, I like that. It looks like it could go up again here. Now today they have a driver there. So let's just see what happens. You have Rite Aid going to the downside. But here's what Costco looks like. As an investment, I just think you buy Costco and just put a fork in it and buy it on any dip again. Costco, for some reason, got hit down when that NASDAQ made that big move in January, back down to the downside. We did get another 200-period retracement play back in February. But look at Costco. You want to talk about taking out levels, very similar to Kroger. That's that 570, boom to the upside there. Now you're at 610, so you're almost up 8% from that 570 break. So, look, I think you still continue to trade Costco, but nothing wrong with Kroger here today. It's not really in my wheelhouse. You guys know I like the bigger cap tech names. But yeah, nothing wrong with looking at KR. And I feel like any kind of pullback in this market, this is the name you want to look at. Retail's been so strong, specifically in a handful of names.
Yeah, I was looking at the chat, and there's someone mentioning about how EDU is up 800%. It's really not. It's a reverse split. It's a 1 to 10 reverse split. So the only reason it looks like it's up is because it's been gone in the opposite direction. The price has been changed because
Which
of
stock?
EDU.
Okay.
Right? The price has been changed because the share count has been changed. So that's
the Chinese education.
Yeah.
Like
so nothing's really changed on that stock except for the price. That means the float's been different. Everything's still the same. So just be aware that it may look like it's up huge. It's not. It's just a reverse split. So you got to be on top of news. And usually Brendan and Neil would give us that, but this was done overnight, right? So this is not something a lot of people pay attention to. It's also not moving that much. So it's not that big of a deal. In terms of, what were we talking about?
We're talking about retail, Costco.
Yeah, we're talking about Kroger, actually. Kroger, the way it's moving around, 59 break had to be the trade. And that was done yesterday.
Yeah.
And this is not something I was going to pay attention to anyways. So this move, that 59 break, you saw the initial pop right off the 59, then the afternoon came, and then held well, and then it's moving up towards 59.80 into 60. Now we're continuing that move. It's very hard to catch it now because we're so far away from that 59 area, because if you go back to the daily, you gotta work with that 59 area going on down, right? So this is the break point for that long. If you don't catch it here, you're trying to play it up here, it gets very, very dangerous. This is specifically, the way it's moving around, I would leave it for scalpers. There's no way I can play on top of this because you gotta be in, you gotta be out quick, right? So if you're gonna catch a break, maybe a 61 break, 62 break, catch the exit, and then move on to something else. Not how I play, so this is not in tune with what I would wanna do. Costco, same thing. Trying to catch Costco on that break yesterday at the 90s, couldn't get it, then it just took off, and now look at it. It's at 610, I believe, and it's too late for Costco. Someday, there's got to be a specific point in time, these breaks are great, and then once they're gone, and you got to trade them completely differently. So if you're trying to position up and to maybe take a breakout setup, and then you don't catch it on the day that it actually does it, and it takes off, yeah, it's too late for that one.
So just quickly here before we go back to Neil, we only have 10 minutes to go. Yeah, my bad on that one. Kroger's a grocery store. So to compare it to Walmart, when Walmart has bigger retail and Costco, seems a little bit unfair. But, you know, I have ACI here, Albertsons. That's a good name with a very similar PE. Actually, Kroger's PE 15, Albertsons only 12. So if you did want something there, and again, you know, people saying Kroger's is overpriced and stuff like that. And you know, us being here in lovely and today beautiful Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Shout out to the Raptors as well, and the Blue Jays and the Maple Leafs. Our buddy was at the Maple Leafs game last night in Dallas. He had like row 3 seats. I think it cost him like $30. You know what that would cost in Toronto? That's like $600 a ticket right there. And he got to see Austin Matthews pot 55 and 56. So congratulations.
He's on fire.
To you, Austin Matthews, who now owns the Maple Leaf single season record for goals. And in my opinion, let's just see. Hopefully we can get to the conference finals or at least win one round. And then that would solidify, in my opinion, Austin Matthews' greatest Maple Leaf of all time tag right there. I think he hit 60. That's not like...
They're projecting 70-something for him, but that's...
No, because I think there's only now 11 games left. So even if he gets a goal a game, which would be incredible
60s,
pace,
yeah.
then you're at you know, halfway there. So you're 65 or so. So yeah, I'm hoping he touches 60. Stamkos hit 60. Like, how bad? It's not that it's bad. It's amazing. I mean, I wish I had half of that ability. Half, 5%, 1%. But that would be pretty crappy to land on. It's like, you know, hitting a home run and landing at 58 or 59 and not touching that 60. I guess, Neil, you know all about that one. And that's what we're looking at here with Austin Matthews. I just hope he breaks 60, guys.
Daggers being thrown here. There's a story there that we don't know about.
No. For baseball,
yeah.
60, that's all. That's a key number there. Roger Maris and whatnot. So I can throw that to Neil. He knows all about 60 home runs in baseball.
Yeah, of course. You never want to get to a milestone and miss it by one, right? Like the most famous, Roberto Clemente, his last hit was his 3,000th. That's an amazing story. This is a weird segue here. I'm only going to bring these up because they moved so much yesterday. These no news runners, and I'm leading with BWV because that was over 60. That broke that mark early yesterday, and then managed to plummet several halts to the downside, and then eventually got all the way down to like $10, guys. But there was no official news story on this. It's trading up 27% today, but keep in perspective where it has come from. It's a 4.2 million float. It is on the move. There's been chatter that there could be a filing coming through for them, but there's nothing confirmed whatsoever. MDVL and BFRI are also on the move as well, with essentially no new news. They've had news earlier on in the week, so you do want to watch out for some of these low float runners out there. And it's also, by the way, I can see him already, Sean. I don't know if you've got a look. It's opening day baseball today. Apple TV going to be debuting their new deal. So they're going to be doing, I think, the Nationals and Mets game as well. And Tony's already in the Blue Jay spirit, as I've already seen there. So, yeah, he's got, I don't want to put you on the spot there, Lucas, but Tony's in the spirit. He's got his Blue Jays gear on. But opening day coming in, Apple going to be debuting their new deal with MLB. So maybe they'll be in play. I feel like they would follow the market, however.
Yeah, Lucas, don't worry about the camera. Tony, everyone wants to see your Blue Jays gear when you get a second. If you can come over here. Lucas is a one-man show today, so, you know, Fahad will be back hopefully on Monday. But here he comes. Let's go. Let's see what's going on here, Tony. There we go. So Tony will be, what will you be doing tonight at the Blue Jays game, Tony?
I'll be a bartender.
Hold on a second.
I'll be bartending.
Bartending tonight. So, Neil, when Neil goes to get, do you know what section or anything yet?
No, they'll assign me when I get there tonight. They'll tell me where I'm going.
Okay, awesome. Tony, the man. Thank you, Tony, supporting the Blue Jays and everybody who wants to booze it up there. Tony will be overpouring your drinks tonight at the Rogers Center. So thank you so much, Tony, for that one. I'm going to fix my mic there, Arun, and take it over. We have 6 minutes to go.
6 minutes to go, and there's the name we got to talk about. I see you guys in the chat talking about it. SBFM, what is going on? Wow, that is huge. I looked at it when it was at 10. Now it's at 720. It's already
Share offer.
Yeah, but like this is absolutely nuts. It's just fallen apart in the last 15 minutes, really. So here it's down 25%. Crazy thing. You look at the daily on this too.
I mean, this is what happens with those stocks when they, Yeah, they start to fly off
We were
there.
at
The
11,
management.
come through 10, clear that 950, which would have gotten you on below yesterday's close, and then wide open down towards 7 into that 650. I mean, that it would make sense technically to catch a bid, but again, depends entirely on what the offering price would come in at and how much is being offered as well, which I don't have details on. So not touching this. I don't care what it does, not touching this. And if you are going to go short, probably there's going to be, you got to pay for it. Odds are, given a stock like this. So yeah, it's out of my wheelhouse for me.
Everybody loving you, Tony, on the chat. So thank you for that, guys, again. And eventually I'll break one of these mics, and then I'll have to stop doing that stuff. Yeah, so, and again, SPFM, we could talk about that a little bit. I know you just did. But, you know, it's not people saying, oh, what a scam, what a scam. I mean, honestly, you know, we've seen this happen so many times. And, of course, I typed in NY, but now you type in NQ. I mean, the thing is that you have to expect this. Almost every single high-flying stock that I can ever think of. We talked about Sava yesterday, a few other names. Not that Sava happened yesterday, but you know, this is what can happen when you get an overpriced stock here, and it is overpriced, right? It's maybe it's not, but when it rallies like this from $1 to $2 to $5 to $6 to $7 to $12, you know, they're going to want to raise capital, right? And so that's that share offering back down, but it's still 11 million shares, giving us traders a decent opportunity here to day trade this name. I mean, whether or not we get to $5 or not, who knows? But you could get down there, and that's a pretty sweet base between $5.50 and $6. So watch out for that. What a scream move yesterday, all the way up to 12, and definitely has to be on radar today. Probably have to be paid for shorts on this name, I would assume. But there's SPFM. Let's wait to see if it gets into that 550 area. And let's go Cameron Smith today for the Masters, and Will Zalatoris also making moves, and DJ. We have all three of those guys in our 5-pack.
I didn't hear anything about Connors there. I'm not sure how he finished up. I know he was -1 before, but that 7.2 million share offering for Biofrontera there. And look, MDVL, another small cap, we're going to be watching it. 14 million shares were acquired by a large shareholder yesterday. That was the catalyst, and that's why you got the big gap up. It's been making a strong move this week. Highlighting a couple of levels here. You will see on the daily chart about 215 or so, and the big $2 level where it's rejected previously. You've already had a couple of failures at those two highs, so I want to be shorting into that top. I've already taken some when it broke that that 190 floor that we previously had, and then if it does give you that pop up to $2, want to look to roll into some more after the open. First targets want to be down around that 170 pre-market low, and then this channel down to 150 makes a lot of sense. So there's small cap runners to be sure, but you know, the downgrade by Robinhood also looking pretty spicy. Sometimes with those share offerings, remember, it might do a lot of volume, but it tends to settle down at some point. So the volatility could be out of SPFM.
All right, as you can see on my board, I've got 2 longs, 1 short, HPQ on the short side. SST is now back in the money, yay. We've gone for a ride on that one in the
Come on, man, let's
pre-market,
do a bigger yay than that.
That was expected, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like that kind of craziness back and forth is expected. And then I'm down 28 cents on Disney, but Disney's got a spread that's absolutely nuts from the last time I looked. It's like a 40 cent spread right now on Disney. So out 28 cents because of the spread. And we're just waiting for HBQ to settle in. If SST can get going at the open, that'd be lovely, because I think we can halt as well if we get going. That's a critical thing. There's a lot coming in at 31, so that's a little concerning to me, but at the same time, we're going to give it a chance, see if we can actually get it to move. And then the future is 44.90 will tell me everything I need to know. Clearly, we're hesitating a little bit, so I guess I'm not going to get the info by the time we open. Maybe in the first 5-10 minutes after the open, I should have enough of a read on whether I want to short below it or if I want to wait for a pop to take a shot at the short side on the futures. But it is heading to the downside, and I just got a fill on crowd as well. I think the NASDAQ imbalances came out. Let's take a quick look at the imbalances. NAT on the buy side, 371, small.
That's it?
That's it.
There's not even, you don't even have NASDAQ. Oh yeah, NASDAQ is there. There's
there.
Apple at the bottom with 90.
BBI.
Wow, okay, so may not be so eventful. What's up to Justin, by the way, right now? He likes the hat, and we're talking Maple Leafs hockey as well. And I want to give a big shout out to Justin. Hopefully he can come. I don't even know if he's in the building, but maybe we can get him on Prad's show this afternoon. So shout out to you, Justin. And thank you for switching from the Maple Leafs to the Edmonton Oilers. That was the best thing you could have done for us Maple Leaf fans now. And yeah, everyone hating on Austin Matthews and the Maple Leafs because they haven't performed in the playoffs. I agree. that's why we're going to see again in the playoffs. And then I'll be here in round 1, and maybe we'll be drinking that day if they do lose. But I don't know. We'll see. Mitch Marner's hot fire right now, and let's just go Draisaitl and McDavid over there in Edmonton for you, Justin. So that was a good one. Before we get started, one more time, happy anniversary to my parents. 50 years is an amazing feat, and we love you, and thank you so much for birthing me. I don't know where I'm going. But anyways, thank you so much. A very, very big day for them, and very special for our family as well. So, all right, Robinhood right now. Let's get ready to go, man. Only 30 seconds ago, we got Miss V on the bell. I'm into Robinhood, which is now out a whopping 13 cents. But hey, man, I'm averaging this one until I'm dead up here at 12.25. They got downgraded. I like the downgrade here. It makes a lot of sense to me. So we're going to be shorting Robinhood. We're also looking at Twitter longs, Tesla longs. It should be a good day as well. SoFi short, and I like Microsoft if we get down there to 298. We might be there right now. We'll hit the countdown. Got it on time this time right here. Normally Neil's job with only 6 seconds now left to go. Let's hit this countdown. 3, 2, and 1. We're open, Miss V. Let's get ready to rock and roll. It is Friday, April the 8th, and you are watching Trader TV Live. Let's go, Arun. Right now, Robinhood coming down to the downside. We'll see what happens here. Really no imbalances to talk about. No. So I believe the flush is coming through right now with Robinhood. Maybe we get another bit short. I am waiting at 1180 in case this rips. Remember, Rite Aid yesterday went to upside before downside.
Yeah, SST taking a nice little move to the downside. The spread was nuts. It was like $1 spread. The market's still not open on SST. If you look at it, now it's coming back in, but it is absolutely nuts. It is super thin right now, and this is what it looks like. The offer is now back to 31. It was down at 29 when we were right at the open, and then we kind of just worked our way back. Maybe we are open now. It's getting a little tough to read. No, we can't. No, we're not open yet.
SST?
Yeah, SST must still be closed.
No, it doesn't.
We're not open yet on SST. So HBQ did move off to the downside off the open, so that short's working out 14 cents. Disney's flat. SST is back to being flat. And then crowd's still going to the downside, but I'm okay with where I'm priced, which is around the 222. Those are going to take care of themselves. What I got to worry about is the futures now. I got to figure out whether I can actually take some shots on the short side down here. So I'm going to pay real close attention to how much volume we're bringing in. As I say that, there goes SST north of 32 into 32.30, 32.40 now. That's $1.17 based on the spread right now. But again, this is not the target we're looking for. We're looking for a much larger target. So we're going to let this one go, see if we can actually get a runner even past this point.
Like, nothing's happening right now. I'm trying to watch Twitter. That's kind of bouncing around. I don't believe this is open yet either on the 1 minute. I don't see any major ticks coming in here. So that's going to be a spot that we have to wait for. Let's check out SoFi right now. I'm in Robinhood. I've averaged into it. I mean, now my average price is 44. So we'll wait to see what Robinhood does. SoFi here, again, I was hoping that we'd get a bump up. So maybe if these futures do now, I mean, I know Arun just talked about it, but really uneventful here off the open, not really doing too much. Just dipping and diving and ducking and dodging. Minus 0.5% right now on the NASDAQ. So if we can get back up here for SoFi, I think we like that trade. But right now, Robinhood continues to go upside. So I'm going to try to be as patient as I can with this now as we wait at 1180. So that's going to be a spot here that we're waiting at. Hopefully it comes up to us and fills us. I'm actually thinking that why not just average into a little spot right now on Robinhood as we keep on heading northbound here, and I don't want to miss this little bump up. So let's take another, just offered 65 there. Let's see if we get those coming in, but I like Robinhood now. Let's just hit 62. What's the difference? There we go. So now we'll take some more shares at 62, and let's see if we can get Robinhood back down to the downside. What's up, Mr. Roberts?
Yeah, very quickly here. PaySafe appointed a new CEO, Bruce Lowthers, this morning. 11% to the upside. It's breaking out on the daily as well, but breaking out 11% to the upside, taking out 330 just now. So on the move, big volume spike in PaySafe, which had been falling pretty much all week long. So PaySafe with a CEO appointment.
Hold on a second, Arun. This is exactly what we wanted with PaySafe. PaySafe, it was a dumpster fire, and I was calling for this guy's head, and I can't believe that I missed that story. So thanks to Neil for that one. I like this break of 340. I think PaySafe is fine, man, especially with online gambling now in Ontario. Like, I was opening up an account, and it's like one of the options there is to fund it with a PaySafe card. So I don't know. I think it's good. Let's see if we break through 340. It may retrace a little bit, but I like the PaySafe long, especially if we get back to $3. And what's up with this right now? Robinhood. There's the trade that we wanted. Now we're starting to go to the downside. That was a good reload there. Well, averaging, I guess, at 65. We are now basically flat. We're flat at 48, short at 48 here. So let's see if Robinhood can retrace back to some of these lows. Even right now, get a piece out. Good trade here for Robinhood for me.
Yeah, so as HPQ works, crowd was deep in the money, and now it's 50 cents in the money. But the issue is going to be SST. That 31 is still holding resistance, and now it's fallen through that as the futures fall off as well. I guess we're going to be looking for shorts now. We're going to have to average it too because they can't get the price right. As now the future, or not futures, SST has now taken a look at that 29 again. Okay, so I'm going to have to do some damage control on SST because now this is not doing what I wanted to do north of 32. Spin back around, so we are going to have to kind of just cut this one at this point. It's not going to make sense to hold on to this one all the way down because we clearly are struggling north of 30. This is not what I wanted to see. This is the exact opposite of what I wanted to see at the open. So we're going to have to do some damage control there. CrowdStrike worked beautifully, right? We caught it at 222 and snapped down from 220.5 all the way back up to almost 225. And we're still working this one. This one is acting just fine where it needs to be. HPQ is about 25 cents in the money, Disney 40 cents out. And then the one I got to handle is SST because this is becoming a problem. I don't need to put more risk. I've seen enough. I've had enough with this. But it's time to kind of walk away from this one and just take the hit, right? No point in holding on to this one. But the hit has to be, there you go. I got my exit, took a $1 hit. I can walk away, be happy with what happened and how I held it into the open. Now we're just going to let the rest ride and figure out what we're going to do with the futures.
All right. Oh, man, I really liked 47 bottom for Twitter. Unfortunately, it's taking off. So we're going to have to try to take a blowout through 48 right now. I mean, again, the NASDAQ is just pumping lower, and Twitter's starting to go to the upside. So I like the strength in this name for sure. We'll have to look at AMD as that's approaching 100 right now. How is the market tanking and Robinhood's trying to go back upside is blowing my mind right now. But okay, Twitter coming back in right now. This is a name that I want to get long. I was thinking long down here at 47, which was really the call that we had. But for right now, it is not coming through. 47.20 as a bottom here is where we have this 50 period. So I like that. Thank you, Miss V, with the fresh coffee. I'm down with that. Okay, 47.50. Maybe we'll start our position right now in Twitter. But new position alert. Thank you, Robinhood. You can start to go down at some point now. We did take that pay safe blowout the top, but you see that little bottom there at 330. I'm not going to hold it through there. I got excited there when I mentioned that as a PaySafe bag holder. I was like, okay, this is what PaySafe needs. We need a new management. They got it today, so let's see if it works. But again, I'm not going to hold this too far. Maybe 330 is a little bit too anxious to get out of it. If we come back into here, we can wind up holding this a little bit lower. Let's get some out at 330 and then average back in down here at 315 in case we're wrong. But one name that we're apparently not wrong on right now, I'm going to put some more, there we go, put some more on the bid. We just got some 36s there, is Hood. Robinhood, a nice little average into that short. We know Goldman Sachs downgraded these guys, so let's watch out for Robinhood, a nice little take there. I still think that we can get back down in here. That was a little bit of an overzealous position as we took it in the pre-market, but let's wait to see here on Robinhood. Right now, my main concern is PaySafe, and I'm looking to get longer in Twitter, and we will look back at SoFi. What's up with your positions?
Well, we've taken the hit on SST already. We've got CrowdStrike almost $3 in the money, HPQ 40 cents in the money. Disney's being a problem here. A pain, yes. It's running through some support areas, which I was expecting to hold well as PaySafe, or not PaySafe, as Crowd just takes out 225 just now.
I want to go long CrowdStrike on that top break as well. What do you think about that one?
Depends on what your risk is, though.
Do you have a... Well, the risk is irrelevant. No, that's all we talk about is risk on this show. Okay, yeah, no, I just think with the news coming through there and it just had that nice dip, that was a crazy dip buy for you. That was nice, but I really think if the market gets going, man, CrowdStrike here at 227 is something that's pretty interesting to me on that as well, just because we've seen this happen before, especially with CrowdStrike earnings did the same move where we came all the way down early off a NASDAQ bump and then bang, right back up there to the upside. But okay, that's CrowdStrike. Right now, here goes Robinhood. Down goes Robinhood again into the mid-30s. I don't have any bids out here, so we got to get some a little lower just in case we do crack down. We just went right back to the pre-market lows again. So yeah, man, this is exactly... Exactly, reminding me of, right there, a bang that we had on Rite Aid yesterday, where somehow Rite Aid tried to go upside and kill the shorts, but no, we stuck with it, and boom, boom, pow. There it goes again with Robinhood, a nice move to the downside. Short, 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 out, out, out. Let's see if Robinhood makes lower lows, man. I mean, I don't want to get rid of this at all. Yesterday, we made that mistake on Rite Aid. Let me call up Rite Aid to see what they're doing right now. We made that, I believe it's New York. Yeah, yesterday, Rite Aid, and if my trades are here, hopefully, they might be, because I see a tick right there. Yeah, here it is right here. So yesterday, Rite Aid, short, short, short. They tried to tick us out there, but we averaged in, and then boom, 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 all the way down to 620 there for Rite Aid. So let's see if that happens again today with Robinhood. It looks like it's trying to do that. There's Twitter, man, breaking through 58, and 48, and we have this long now on Robinhood. A nice little 20-cent winner for us on Twitter. Let's take a bid out, and then we'll see if we can touch near 49 today.
All right, I'm looking to figure out what I want to do with crowd. Maybe I didn't want to take some out in front of this 225. It is rather hesitant with this 225. So if we kind of back off a little bit further, I think through that 224, I think I'll just put some offers out and just walk away from this. I already have an offer out on the futures. I do want to get some shorts if we can just get a move to the upside. So please move to the upside so I can get filled, because I've been eyeing this short since we were up here at 45.07, I think it was when I sat down, and now here we are at 44.81. I want these shorts, but I don't want them priced here. If I need to force it, I will average into it, meaning I'll take less as we move lower and lower and then average it as it comes back, but I would prefer that we just bounce back up and get the fill. For now, it is looking at 44.80, and then Disney coming back in a little bit. Apple also broke that 117. Apple at 169.85, the low from yesterday, I believe. And now we're at 170.5, so we came back a little bit. So Apple, index name, bouncing back. I'm keeping an eye on that one, whether I want to participate in more index names on top of just playing the S&P as well.
All right, out a little bit at 25 there for Twitter, so that's a nice little 20-cent win, and we'll get another piece out right now. But we're going to spin this because look what is happening right now for Mr. Hood. It is down to 21 right now. Boom! What a big trade this was for me on Robinhood. I hope you guys saw the sticky note. It's the #1 name here on the sticky note. Tesla's on here as an idea, but we gave you the levels here on Robinhood that we liked and why we liked that to the downside here. So there goes Robinhood. On that note, let's check out Tesla quickly. I hope your CrowdStrike's doing okay. The market's still coming to the downside here. I do want to look at that name, but I know you're on it as well. Here comes Tesla right into 1030, man. This is like the levels that we talked about earlier, coming through 1030 right into this. But again, do we really want to catch a falling sword here? This is coming to the downside right now with the market. The NASDAQ right now, Puke City, now down 1.12%. Tony said he likes Tank City, so let's use that one as it's Tank City right now on the NASDAQ. But hey, man, we're okay. We have two longs, not good right now as Twitter's coming back down, and PaySafe was just kind of a tester. But we do have Hood right now to that downside, so that's working for the short. Twitter, I do want to average into this name, so I think this is a good spot. We just got a little dip down there in Twitter. So again, took out 40% right there on that move up. We're trying to hold the rest of it, but remember, I scalp these names, so watch out here for Twitter. We're going to hold the rest, and I don't have any more offers until 50 right here on Twitter, and then we'll see about taking out the high. So that's what I'm looking at. Also, a reload should have just happened there as we did go back into this 47.80 level, which was VWAP. So let's put some more bids somewhere down here because I believe this market at some point wants to rally to the upside here. So let's do that. Hopefully we'll watch Robinhood continue to fall down here, but I have bigger fish to fry. Maybe we get into Rivian as well. I want to average into Twitter. What's up, Neil?
Yeah, a few quick things here. You have Oxy and CVX also breaking out, so oil moves strong to the upside. But Lyra Therapeutics, another name here, announced a $100 million private placement. They are up 35%, forming a bit of a double top. The $6 level, you can see double top at 6 on your daily chart. That is a monster level for LYRA moving. Also, you did have MDVL just break the high of the day. So lots going here to start the day. Don't discount that move in some of the oil names.
Oh, yeah, don't discount anything right now. We're going to try to get more shares of Twitter here. I like this long, man. And I just said to Arun, Microsoft is getting, as Brendan would say, clapped right now all the way down to the downside here. Microsoft, we put on our sticky note, man, and we just snuck it in there on the sticky note that we liked this 298 level for support, and that's right where we're at right now. So this is, wow, I was not expecting this move. Microsoft acting with the market today and heading to the downside. So unless we think about the market bouncing right here, Microsoft at these nice levels, 297.50 looks like that low. But again, on this NASDAQ, it's not really bouncing, I was going to say, but definitely not bouncing here is Microsoft. So let's leave that one alone temporarily right now until we get that big move back in the futures, because for right now, Microsoft looking sick. I think you mentioned Apple at one point as well, Arun. But look at Twitter right now. What a reload that was. Let's hit the money for that. Wow, reloaded that one. Look at that reload down here at 47.70, guys, right back to the upside. So wow, we're really playing this one like a fiddle today. That is Twitter. Boom, boom. Again, we like the stock, as I put on the sticky note.
All right, as the futures are falling apart, CrowdStrike decided that it does not care because it is now $4 in the money, $4.20 in the money on Crowd. And remember, we caught it as it was falling down, right? So we were out of the money as it was running into the open, and now it's breaking 227. There goes 227. So who wants $5 in the money now?
Yeah.
So remember, Neil mentioned 230, I believe. 230 was the top end level, or actually, no, Sean mentioned 230 as the level to look at. Let's look at 230 because we're only $3 away from 230. Now we're just going to trail this one in because it's $5 in the money. We can trail this. It's far enough. It's moved far enough in the money and away from any resistance levels that I can actually lock in something in the event that it comes back. We have space to the upside. Let it go, but at the same time protect the downside, which for me is now going to be south of 224 into 223. So it's going to be somewhere in here. If we fail off the top again, off this top one more time, obviously, the trail can probably come up one more time, but we're just going to leave the stop here. So we're locking in $1 of the $4 that it's in the money right now. We're locking in $1. HPQ up 14 cents. Disney out $1.26. Disney is still going because the futures are still going, and man, it's like 17 points from where I want to price it. And I wanted to see what we would do at 90, and we just fell apart at 90. Now I'm so far past it. If it's 15 points, I can't even average this because of how far down we are from the area that I want to price it into. So I'm going to have to wait for this to bounce back. It is bouncing back a few points now, so see if we can actually get it to bounce back high enough so I can actually start averaging into a short on the futures. I'm going to have to average into a short on the futures. As I do that, there's nothing else going on, right? At least I'm seeing, I see you guys talking about AMD, but that's all index related, right? All the indexes are falling apart. You have NASDAQ now down almost 1%. It's down 0.9%. You have 0.43% on the S&P. If the NASDAQ is down that much, of course, the index names, Apple, Microsoft, you're going to see AMDs in there. You're going to see some NVIDIAs in there, some top tech index names fall apart with them, right? That's how this index thing works. So no surprise there that you're having a lot of movement in Apple, in Microsoft, and a lot of those tech names that are part of that big index. So here we are waiting for this thing to bounce so I can actually grab some shorts. We need a bounce. Let's get a bounce so we can get some shorts on the table.
Yeah, we actually thought we found a bounce right there, and we shorted Apple. So I went right over. Great minds think alike, so I don't know why I'm thinking like you there. But Apple right now to the downside. Let's see if we get it. You're at this level. I'm not going to hold this for very long. If we get back up to I put the wrong stop order in there. 170.80 is really the stop order that I'm looking at here. We are long, so that's 170.81 or so break there. Please don't stop hunt me, guys, on this one. Okay, so we'll get out of some of that if it does come back down here or up there. Apple 170.80 right there. We do know that we have the 50 period up here at 171. Remember, I'm using 1 minute charts, so that may be a difference to you guys as far as the long term versus short term trading. You see Arun with that nice trade there on CrowdStrike, letting that work. Like I was saying, our net's always very similar. You gotta trade your own style and not really worry about about the net. Just trade what you see. Right now, here we go. PaySafe, we did hold on to that one. We were going to use 330 as our out, but we should have averaged in apparently on that one. We take the day high break, and then I was just like, oh, you know what? If this goes up 2 pennies, I'll take some out. So we got out of 10% there, the first little level. The next level is on. PaySafe is obviously to the upside. We'll take another 10% at 45. And then again, remember, it's a $3 stock, so you can trade this with more shares. So hopefully that's something that you guys notice as well in your own accounts, that you can upsize these positions. So we'll wait for 350, and then as PaySafe comes through, 350, 375. There are some high notes here. And again, they could get a reweighting. They could get anything here. Upgrades coming next week on new management. I look to hear more on that story, Neil, if you have anything on PaySafe and what's exactly going on with them. Maybe they got some more upgrades or anything. And I know about the management change. So just if there's anything new on that. Okay, Robinhood still dancing. We got some out here at 20s, 25s, 26s. So that's right where we are. And then Apple, we took a little bit out there at 30, but let's see if it can come back down. We're only short here at 170.40. So hopefully it can come back in and we'll get another bid. I'm bidding in the teens right now for AAP. Big runners today, man. Look at right now, Twitter all the way back up, man. We all the way up, and we got our 50 bid there on Twitter. So good movements here. Let's go, Apple. Let's go, Neil.
So just very quickly, nothing outside of the CEO, but they did maintain their Q1 and full year revenue forecast. That is being PaySafe there. So some support to that move as well. There's a big name. BCRX, by the way, is moving to the downside, 31%, and well, screaming towards their lows as well. They just had a piece of news come by here. I'll just quickly get it to you guys. Their shares down 30% after pausing enrollment in 3 trials with a blood disorder drug. So if you see that moving down, that is your reason.
Okay, so I like that PaySafe talk about the guidance as well. So that's real nice. Okay, Apple, we just took some out in the 20s again, low 20s. We do have this 170.80, so that's 40 cents, right? So we're trying to make a little bit more. Like we're out of 30% of this stock. I mean, you know, we want to hold this if we can. I'm just a little nervous here because the NASDAQ, remember, we'd make these big moves and then we bought them. And then like yesterday, we could go back up to the upside, but we're nowhere near the 50 period. And it continues to make a move down. And we're at that like ominous 1%. So as the market kind of bounces around 1%, maybe, you know, that's the key. If we can stay below this 1%, then we're doing pretty good there. We rinsed out of our Twitter position. We still have it, sorry, but we did get a nice out there. I was just debating, like, what about that? But now that we're short the NASDAQ right now, I'm not super in love with averaging into Twitter, but we do have some bottoms here that we were looking at, 47.30. It's going to have to take down 46, 47, I guess, actually, right there for me to get out of this, I think. But we are lighter on this, so we probably will average in. As the market kind of heading downside, Apple not really, so I am a little nervous about this position now, as it appears to be stronger right now. We were just at 170.20 when the NASDAQ was at 1%, so the NASDAQ's falling down more, and Apple seems to be gaining some strength to the upside. So let's get out one more piece and see if we can hold about 50% for that big move and then not have any bids out until we can break below 170. So right now, Apple's kind of tipsy-turvy for me a little bit here.
Yeah, and I'm just picking up some more shorts. You might see me in team. I grabbed some shorts as that stock is running to the upside. I just like the way it's been moving south of this, or the setup south of this 280, so I'm kind of catching it on the move back up. The reason I go for this is because of that 272. It's this right here. This is off the daily, right? So that was the last little bit of support that I thought we took out. So as we get through there, I want to price it into the 280s. Of course, I'm not going to take the short at 270, so I want to get it as close as possible into this 280 area before I go for the fade. So that's what you're seeing there, a fade into this 280 area. If we lose 280, then I'll get out. But for the time being, I'm going to work fades into this zone here, and then I'm doing the same thing on Etsy, but I'm not fading. This one's actually a break through this low on Etsy here, through that 117. We got underneath, we bounced above, we got back underneath. Why not take a shot at the short side? So Etsy in the money, 19 cents. HPQ, a penny in the money. Team, 13 cents out, but the spread is absolutely nuts on Team and Etsy, right? So be very, very careful of watching these names.
Okay, right now, guys, let's go. Spin it again. There goes Apple. See you later. Sayonara to the downside here. Good trade here for Apple. We are now 50 cents in the money on Apple. We are 50 cents in the money on a $10 stock with Robinhood here. So that's making new lows as well. Let's just, hey, man, what the hell? Let's put some more shares on the bid right now of Robinhood and go, yeah, buddy, chicken dinner winner. What did we have for dinner last time? Oh, we had Alfredo with shrimp, linguine Alfredo there. So that was a good one last night. But maybe tonight we'll have some chicken dinner winners on board as we got another one with Robinhood. Ooh, we missed that though. We missed that 13. Let's see if we can get a bid through 15 now, especially if it makes a move down in. That's when we'll get out of 15. As I look at my other screen here, I have Apple on my mind. We didn't even get 15s there, so maybe Robinhood is a little strong. Let's put another bid out on Apple. There it is. We are now holding 50% of this Apple short right now as it's trying to collapse. Now down 1.45% in this market here, and we are getting elevated a little bit as this market continues to go to the downside. We are getting ready to get out of some pay safe here. I mean, I don't know. Can it hold these bids? We'll see. Pay safe right now to the downside, but there goes Apple. We did not get, I don't think we got down to that level at 60, but let's put some more bids in here in case we do that little swoosh down there. I'm looking at too many things here, guys.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chat. They're going, thank you for SSD. I'm like, no, SSD is going at 33 after we got out at 30. Took the dollar hit. I mean, I'm okay with that. I saw what I saw at 31. I wasn't going to hold on. It was a decent read into the open. I didn't like what I saw at the open, so I took the hit. And now here we are. For anyone who held on, good job, because there's no way I would have done that. Here we are going through that 32.50 top end line, and then if you get it to accelerate fast enough, remember the high on this is not that far away. SSD, let me pull up the daily for you guys. I think it's like 35, 36 or something like that. It's not that high. It's not that far away. It's 37. Okay, so it's like 37.10, and we're at 33 already. You see how aggressive it's getting too. So hey, if you got it and you're priced well, you might be sitting pretty towards a run towards the highs. So for now, I'm just going to move away from this because I don't want to look at this anymore. We walked away from it already, right? So there's no point in wasting our time with it. I'm going to go back to what I do have. Team, $1.40 in the money. Etsy, 50 cents in the money. Those two I've just gotten into. HPQ, 2 cents out. Crowd is coming back in. As I say that, SST is now almost at 34. Crowd is coming back in. Remember, we took that 27 area, and I was just moving the management on this. I was just moving the trail stop on this, right? So now we're still at 223. I'm going to lock in $1. Yeah, it's not like $4 or $5, and it's not as high as it may have been, but I'm going to manage it the way I'm going to manage it. And for me, if we lose 223, that's a complete failure of the high. At that point, I don't need to look at this one more time for the day because it's kind of just, it's failed, right? The read on this one was to go long off of this move from 220. We caught the 222. It moved up to 227 towards that 230. And now if it fails south of, there you go, south of 223, I'm out now. I'm flat. We're locking in a total of 70-something cents. So there we are. We're walking away. First winner out, done. And we're just going to let it go on the rest of them because, hey, Team's up, Etsy's up, HPQ's out slightly, and then Disney has been not helping our case at all because the futures won't bounce. Bounce, futures, bounce. So I can, one, get out of Disney and then flip to shorts on the futures.
Yeah, it's funny. I tried to get out some at 35 there on PaySafe on that move. But what a big, and it's funny because Elizabeth Goodyear said I was going to say this again, that today was another good day. I don't know if you have that crystal ball again, but hey, man, these hands, this brain keeps on working. We're still giving you guys these winners, man. What a monster day for me on Robinhood and now on Apple. Twitter's been good, and we're reloading just before I go to Neil. We're going to get Twitter soon into here, into this area, but then I'm not, you know, I put it on the sticky note that, hey, man, maybe this 47 holds. If it doesn't, we're gone. So we'll take it one last shot here. On Twitter's a positive name for us, even now, even holding this, because we did get out up there on the reload, but we still are holding a piece here for Twitter. So watch out coming through. My bid, just to give it to you, is 47.15. So if you come back into this area, we'll see if we can get a bid. I mean, I should have just probably taken 20s there, but now we'll watch Twitter come back in. Needs to come in more for us. And then look at Apple, man, just collapsing right now. We called that play. It shelved out for us at 170.50, and that was good enough for me, man. $1 in the money, almost $1 in the money now on Apple, and we still have about, I was gonna say just under half, like 35% or 40% or so of our Apple trade. So let's hold this and see where we can work. We'll find some more levels. What's up, Neil?
SPFM halted to the downside, just reopened now. Of course, they had that offering we had mentioned, and bouncing off of yesterday's bottom, $6.12 about here. We just bounced off that now, reopening after a 5-minute volatility hold. So down 32%. As quickly as it went up yesterday, it comes right back down on that offering. But look for that $6 support.
All right. Just an update here on PaySafe quickly. We did get out some on that 30 break. So it's going to be a negative stock. So don't, we will celebrate it. But I'm just happy that they got a new management in there today. This was a news story that Neil brought to us. Obviously, it takes off right off the open. These are the better levels. Didn't know about it. Look at the volume here in the pre-market. Absolutely nothing. So I don't feel too bad anyways about missing this one. But there it is right now. Let's go turn an evil laugh because Twitter's about to do a dance. We just got the position. You could see that it's not an oversized position, but this bid was. Our average price is now 36. So, from holding it down here to 70, that should give you an idea of the kind of position that we put on here. Our average price now 36. It needs to get going back to the upside. Our dump is going to be this 47 spot. So if we take down 46.90, then that's out. So that's a 40-cent hit. So if we take a 40-cent hit on this, we need to make 40 cents back to the upside. And by the way, man, we just got out for that dollar now on Apple as it's starting to wick down. We have 169. We said we do. Let's go, Apple. Wow. What a good trade for me anyways on this one, just like you had that beautiful trade there on CrowdStrike and SST. But I was looking at this level right here, 167, 168 for Apple. I know that means we got to tank a lot more, but hey, we're starting to go to the downside right now. You have some consolidation at 169 here, so we do have another bid, and that's part of my problem is not holding things long enough. So yeah, we have to work on that, but there goes Apple to the downside. $1 plus now in the money on this one, Arun.
Yeah, no, someone just said my HPQ shorts listed as HPO. Oh, it is a Q. It's just that little line that goes across the bottom isn't showing properly for whatever
that's showing
reason.
properly.
No,
That's
on that, when you actually go to the position bar, it looks like an HPO.
Oh, it does it?
Yeah, so it's HPQ, guys. I'm short on HPQ, not on HPO in the event that you see it up there. Just to clarify, there goes Etsy, by the way. 117 short, Etsy gone through 150. Well, not yet, I guguess. I guess I jumped the gun on that one. Etsy, there you go, gone through 115 now to the downside. So $2 in the money on Etsy. We caught it on the bounce back up, faded that move back up. And here we are sitting on a nice $2 winner. Team also $1 in the money, but Team isn't really doing a whole lot. Team's just kind of flirting with, because it bounced from 266 to 270, I guess 8, right? I'm priced at 277. So a nice little, not nice and little. It was huge. It was a $10 bounce, and now it's kind of just messing around a couple bucks here and there. So here we are waiting for Team to get going to the downside, just like Etsy, because if Team can get towards that 270, we could see the lows easily, right? So that's just the acceleration point. But keep in mind, it's also a high-risk position because if you look at the level 2 on it, this is what you're dealing with, $1 spread, right? So 274.72 on the bid and 275.46, almost $1 spread at times. So it's done almost 1 million shares, but the spread is absolutely nuts at times. So you do have to be very, very careful if you are going to step into Team. It's a game you play sometimes, and the reads are there, but you got to be very, very smart on how you adjust your risk when it comes to trades in stocks like this, because they can slip well past you, right? They can run you over easily if they decide to get going. So you got to try and avoid that. But anyways, for now, we've got Team, Etsy, both almost $2 in the money, HPQ, not HPO, HPQ 8 cents out, and then Disney's done absolutely nothing to help me. As the future is finally looking to bounce, come on, let's go, bounce. Just bounce back up a little bit, but the problem is I'm going to need not just a little bit of a bounce, I'm going to need a decent bounce into the 90s or even just to the mid 80s so I can actually start averaging into some shorts here.
Yeah, Etsy, wow, big banger there. Nice play on Etsy at Disney. We got to get that working back upside. Robinhood, let's go, man. Throw that money around again on Hood. Again, another name on the sticky note that's just absolutely crushing it right now. But Twitter, all the way to the downside, Twitter flushes down, and there it is, man. Instead of, come on, Sean, let's go. You should have reversed that into the short there. I don't know why we didn't do that. I mean, if you're looking at 40, this is the short. I mean, we called that 47 level. When that broke, we got out, so there's the out right there. I want to push back long through 47, so if that happens, we will try to go long again through 47 just to see if that bottom does want to hold there at 46.60. You know what? Maybe we'll go long right now on that. And by the way, we got a huge 169.23 bid out on Apple there, so that was a good one. I don't know. Maybe we are testing this bottom one more time here. 46. I don't know. Let's go back in lightly here on Twitter. Why didn't I get that fill there? Oh, because I'm at 72. Okay. We're going to see about this 46.50 holding. If this doesn't hold, then we're gone. This is another light position for us here. But again, just trying it. I don't mind averaging in. We'll see if that was sort of a wick down bottom there. We'll get back into Twitter right now. This is only going to show us 20 cents worth of risk to back downside, and it looks like we're going to get stopped out again on this one. But we're just kind of playing with paper money here just to see where we go on this name. Not a big position. I'm not averaging in here. I'm just going to test it one more time to see if that was just an eventual flush, and then maybe now we fill the toilet bowl back up here and Twitter can get back up to that upside. There's that Apple take. We basically have the low of the day right there, 169.23. We talked about 169 being a key level as Apple retracing back to the upside now. So far so good on that as Robinhood still downside moves. It's over there with happening now with Mr. Roberts at the big screen.
Thank you very much, Sean. Why I like that Apple move? Well, I don't like Apple going down, but we're talking about what is leading the market to the downside. It is going to be tech right now. The NASDAQ down 1.4%. S&P, which of course, Apple's big in as well, 0.5% to the downside. The Dow was holding it up, 0.2. So some of those, I guess, more boring names are basically flat in the session or showing some strength. Now, overall, you do have a pretty flat day for crude oil, not really moving, but we did note that a couple of individual names, both Oxy and CVX, were moving to the upside. Now, obviously, Arun's got that CrowdStrike. They got that authorization to protect U.S. Department of Defense assets. Very, very big deal for them. As Sean mentioned, still pretty expensive on a PE basis, but still moving pretty strongly on the day up. Medavail, that's MDVL, big volume spike. It was yesterday that they had a major shareholder buy 14 million worth of shares. So they're still on the move, doing big time volume. Last on the list, of course, Robinhood. This was a big downgrade from 15 to 13, price target cut by Goldman Sachs, and from neutral to sell. So lots going on, lots on the move. I think oil is going to probably do some pickup on some of those moves. I can't see it staying flat all day long, but you are seeing some breakouts in both CVX and Oxy.
All right, as we're waiting for that one, futures up, not futures, crude futures up 0.5%.
Oh, so
Team bouncing, futures bouncing. Let's go another 10 points. That's a lot to ask for, by the way, but another 10 points. So I can actually avoid having to average it. I can actually price everything I want where I want to price it. So a decent bounce off that 70 area opens the door for a nice little bounce. That means, you know what happens when the futures bounce, right? You got Apple going, you got Microsoft going, you got tech names gonna take off with it to the upside. What I'm going to try to do is find the weakest ones and fade them because I want to fade the futures. I'm open to fading some tech names that are moving up with it. Etsy has bounced off that 115. Now it's gone from a $2 winner to a 50-cent winner. Still waiting. Team Atlassian has bounced up back past that 278. So we're going to be about $1 and change out on that. As the market bounces, these names are going to be out of the money. It's not a surprise. I mean, we're going to get some influence, even if they're not big parts of the index whatsoever. But you do have to watch out for this type of, you have to prepare yourself for this type of move. If you want the market to bounce and you're short, expect for your shorts to go out of the money a little bit, right? So not a surprise there, but I would prefer this market just bounce another 10, 15 points. 15 if I'm being greedy, 10 ideally. That could be a lot to ask for, but still, we're looking for shorts. That's the name of the game that I'm going to go with. And remember, when I trade, it's not me trading for the next 20 minutes. It's me trading for the rest of the day. So I might be in this trade. You might see me in this trade. Brad can update you. I might still be in the trade during the midday. And then by the time we get to the close, I might still be in the trade. By the time we go to the close, because the futures don't close until 4:15, so 15 minutes after the equity market's done and the show's done as well. So I might be in this trade all day if I need to be, but I will be short if we can get that bounce.
Right, but right now, no futures positions because it's
yet.
not on the board. So
it's
just
too far.
in case you guys are asking, it won't show on the board, but Arun will make sure, obviously, to tell you guys when he's in that name. So thanks, Arun. Good coverage there on the futures. All right, so we can hit this button because we are officially now just like Arun said, let's reload in some of these tech names here on that bounce of the futures. So we're going to do that little reload right now on Apple. We just took a 170 flat fill there. No, that's a lie. It was 169.96. Coming back in now. So here, right away, back into the money now on this Apple trade. Let's put a bid. I didn't even put any bids out there. Let's put a bid now in the 70s here for Apple. Just bounce right back up. Okay, that's fine. Let's see if we get a 70 bid now into Apple, as this market may want to retrace back down to the downside. If we can get something like that again, man, that 169.23 fill is going to be like, hopefully that's not the bottom of the day, but like that's a pretty good take right there, 169.20. And if you look here on these dailies, that's what we're looking at right now. I was like, okay, maybe we get some consolidation there at 169. So if we could take that out again, but hey, the future's trying to rally a little bit here, but let's go over to Ms. V and see what's up.
Hey Sean, it's like o'clock, so guys, I remind you to like this video. Please help us to get at least 2,000 likes. And also very important, make sure you're a subscriber of Trader TV Live, because we're super close to become 300,000 subscribers community. Back to you, Sean and Arun.
300, we like it. Let's go. Is there anything you want to talk about? Because right now, there goes Apple to the downside. We'll drop some grenades there. Boom on that one. People talking about AMC. So meme stock Friday. What? I didn't realize this thing was at 18 bucks right now. Okay, AMC, wow, down another 7 today. Yuck. Right here, what a nasty 20-minute chart for AMC, man. They had a beautiful run there. We had some GameStop. I lost a decent amount of money trying to trade AMC that one day. AMC is definitely an up stock for me, but it was tough. We tried to go long, and you can see what's been happening right now. But as I look, if you go back all the way to early March, well, I guess it's not early March, March 22nd. That would be considered late March, Sean. But right here, 17, 18 bucks. Could be a holding spot for AMC. What does it look like on a 1 minute here today? Pretty nasty move downside, but we did base down here. Maybe you are getting a little bit of a base now on AMC, but again, I really like to trade this on news rather than just trying to like catch bottoms and tops here for AMC. But hey, if you are looking at AMC right now, that's a decent little spot there to start to build. 1840. Were we down there? What is this level here? Yeah, that's 18. Okay, so we're just trying to take this out right now. This might be a better long right now, 1870 off of that bottom, and then you use 1840 or so as you're out with today's. So maybe you get some action there. Let's just check out GME quickly. 143. Yeah, some of these names just continue to get beat down here. Look at the 20-minute chart on GME. That also trying to break some key levels right now as well. A downside of 140. Apple, okay. This is what we're talking about with the violence here, Arun. Apple, we just got out at 70 as it was ticking down to 60 again, and then we just got another reload right now. So we got to watch out for getting popped here on Apple. If it takes out this 170.50 area, that's going to be another concern spot, but I'm really looking at this 170.80 for Apple. But look at the market. It's starting to get spicy back to the upside right now as well. So all good right now, but Apple trying to test us back up here at 170.50 after we just smoked it to the downside. Let's reload this, but hey, we're not going to be in this for too long. We don't want to lose what we've already made, so let's watch out for this 170.80 level. One more reload up here near 50, and then hopefully we can retrace back down. We just took a short in there at 25, so let's see if Apple can work it. This is our average price right now, 22.
All right, as the market bounces back up, futures getting closer and closer to where I want to get filled. So here we are. Now, a team has actually not bounced with the market being this aggressive. Good thing, right? Because we're short. So I want to see if we can actually get into a little bit more resistance and then fall apart if the futures were to fall apart again. So team is actually out only 3 cents. Etsy's 40 cents in the money. HPQ 20 cents out. And Disney, the one that has been failing all day for us, has came back 50 cents as it bounces with the market. Do I like the daily on it? Yes, I do. Am I going to hold it even though the market may go back down? At least that's my read. I mean, it depends entirely on how we bounce back up, right? If we get really, really aggressive on the futures and Disney's kind of just slowly following up, then I want no part of it. That means there's weakness as relative to the rest of the market. If it's going to get aggressive and move up at the same speed that the market's moving up, then yeah, I'll hold on to it and see how far I can push this one. But for the time being, I think the two that I'm going to ride on here is clearly we give up on SST, right? That's kind of back at that 31. 31 has been magnetic for SST. Even in the pre-market, I noticed that. So the only two I'm going to write on here is going to be Team and Etsy. And HBQ has been kind of flirting with 0-0 the entire day, and then Disney's been out the entire day. So we're just going to leave those alone. But the ones that are really going to matter is Team, especially if Team gets going. Oh boy, look out downside. Look out big dollar gains on Team if we can get going through that low, which seems to be not the daily low, but the actual just like the last maybe 10, 15 minute low, which is about, looks like 274-ish. It's about this price, right? It's right here somewhere. So if we can get through there, we can probably open up into the 270s. So that's what I'm looking forward to. It's 89 cents in the money now, but we know how it moves. Spread's nuts. It's going to do its own thing when it wants to. And if it decides to take off, money, watch out.
Watch out now. Okay, Apple right now. Yeah, I mean, let's just keep going on everything now as the market is really starting to give us some opportunities. I mean, that was a good fade spot there that we talked about in the NASDAQ. And I want to go back. What's up, Elizabeth Goodyear? Thank you for your patronage as well and your trade ideas. Want to look at Twitter. I mean, we took that shot there at 46.70, but unfortunately, it did drop down. You know what I like most about this hat? This green bill part up there. So thank you. I saw some people talking about that on the chat there. Now, it's not Doug Friday. This is just casual Friday. You guys can grab these hoodies. Maybe we can go to Ms. V and do a little merch moment. Merch moment. Do you like merch moment? Oh, that's not bad. Merch moment coming through there. Okay, so that's that. Ms. V will hit you guys up in a second on that one. But what about Robinhood right now? Okay, we are... Shout out to Carlito's Way fans right there. Yeah, we're reloaded into this one. And look, I'm just going to make this call right now, 1150. It looks like 1160 is a better out. I'm probably just going to play 1150. I don't even really want to get back into this area again because we may do this kind of a move. And at that point, that's when I want to smash this back down to the downside. But okay, we're reloaded on Robinhood here. It does have this bottom here of 1115. So we'll see if that can come into play one more time. But for now, I like the reload here on this name. And also Apple, we got another piece out as it's trying to flirt with 170, hoping for more downside surprises here with Apple, but we got to go over to Ms. V. What's up?
Hey Sean, let's do merch time. Yesterday Arun was wearing our Trader TV Live hoodie. Today you do so. Both are you looking amazing, guys. In order you also want to purchase those hoodies or any other stuff, I will show you quickly how you can do this. Just go to our homepage, click store right here. Ta-da! You have all our goods in here. This is that hoodie with large Trader TV Live logo. We also have the one with I'd rather be trading saying on the back, and cool caps in here, many more. Summer is very soon, so we have some cool t-shirts, guys, so come check it out. And if you have our merchandise, please post your pictures on social media, tag us, and we will gladly repost them. Back to you.
Really, futures? Like, you're gonna turn like that?
Dustin Johnson?
I mean, come on, man. Like, I'm priced not too far away from where you turned, and you're gonna go 10 points immediately. I want my short, and I can't get it on the futures. Damn it. Okay, back to Team, back to Etsy. Yay, $1.60 on Team. Etsy up 53 cents as well. Waiting for more trades, waiting for more alerts. If you guys are wondering how many alerts I've got pending, this many. I'm waiting for one of these to go off. Only one that actually is right now that's green is Apple. Because it's south of 170, but I'm also not going to play Apple right now because of, again, it's an index name. If I want to go heavy on the index, do I want to play a top-weighted index name? Probably not. So we're going to wait on Apple. I may have to go into Apple if we lose the futures again and I can't catch any futures positions whatsoever. There's a chance that it bounces back up into the 90s, but I mean, that's where I'm waiting anyways. But we're going to have to wait on that one. Apple, we're not going to touch, but nothing else. Let's see if there's anything else. Did you take anything new, Sean?
No, but I don't know. I got out of Apple there when we broke through 170. I'm still in it, but I mean, I took another piece out. I don't really want to scalp this name, but I can't. I'm with you, Arun. Like, these futures, like, we would prefer them to make a move. Like, even go against us so we can reload, because right now we like the short, man. The market's coming down. We've had a pretty nasty day. Maybe, Neil, if you have a second, what is the NASDAQ down this week? Because I feel like we had a 2% move, a 2% move. Today, another 1.3%. And then we only battled back like 20%, 0.2 or 0.4 something yesterday. So I feel like the NASDAQ, I mean, I can roughly calculate it here, but I just want to watch this Apple trade. And I feel like that's going to be a downward move into the close here for Friday. I mean, it's just been a nasty week. I feel like it's 5% or something in 1 week, which is pretty nasty. So let's hold on. Yeah, thank you, Dinesh. Thank you, Dr. Strange. Thank you for everybody else out there. Yeah, man, we do have some good trades on today. I don't know, man. Yesterday with Rite Aid was monstrous, and we had something else yesterday that was absolutely huge. Oh, it was Twitter and HPQ. Actually, it was HPQ. So we had some monster trades on yesterday, and it's like, I feel like today is happening all over again. So we're going to use our famous Oops Brittany line one more time because we're doing it now. Bouncing around is Twitter, and what we got into as a new position was not new position, but we're averaging in now to pay safe. I'm still going to use this bottom here of, I don't know, I guess $3. I don't want to lose on PaySafe, but considering the market's down and PaySafe is still holding up, maybe we can get it back in here and make some money on this trade after all. We're still long 37. It's not like this reload was a serious position. But, you know, this is the best thing. You know, when Brendan's here, Neil and I can call on Brendan for information. I just put Neil there, tasked him to find out about the NASDAQ. I'm going to think this is what this throw is. So let's go over to you, Neil. What's up?
I mean, it's about 4% from the highs. I think, which what matters, that the cues off that 200 period moving average reject about that 4% to the downside. We'll see what happens at the end of the day. There is some strengths. I do want to try to highlight some of it. Best Buy on the move. No specific news for Best Buy here, but it did take out fresh highs and rejected before it got to 95 on the daily. But it's just this theme of the retail names, and some of these names are very, very strong. Big move up for Best Buy, and now starting to reverse with the rest of the market. But whether it's Costco, whether it's Best Buy, whether it's Kroger, we're just seeing the strength in some of these retail names.
Market's it's about to put in new lows again. I can't even get my hands on that.
Don't you have a short, though, a monster short in Etsy?
Etsy and Team, but yeah, the futures is what I care about. That's the one where I take decent risk anyways. So
look what I found on my board.
What did you get?
A little pew action there for those Etsy trades and that team trade. Come on, man. Let's.
I haven't cashed them out though, right? We saw how SSD went. That was like $1.50 in the money that I ended up taking $1 hit because I was waiting for it, right? The day has not even gotten started for any of these trades. Team is going sideways, and I'm up $1.20 on it. Right, so and the spread is nuts on Team too, so it could easily just run up in the opposite direction. And Etsy's 43 cents in the money after being $2 in the money. Disney is going to be a problem, 90 cents out. HPQ 20 cents out. Still waiting for more trades, preferably on the futures. Can't get those. So what are we going to look at? Maybe Apple. That could be on the table. It's now south of 170 one more time. Futures on. This is my hesitation with the NASDAQ, and this is especially why I would kind of stay away from Apple on these breaks, is because if you look at the NASDAQ daily, right, you got decent support all the way down through here, all the way down to 14.2. Now, if we were 150 points lower than where we are now and Apple was breaking 170, I'd be all over that break because that would clear any support resistance. But if NASDAQ is sitting in the support zone and Apple's just breaking to new lows, who's to say that Apple doesn't just move through 170 and then back up as the futures bounces back up, right? That's going to be a problem. I do not want to get caught in that type of situation. I'm okay going with the S&P because the weighting is a little bit different in the S&P with Apple and Microsoft and whatnot. It's not so heavy into 2 names or 6 names. I think it's like 40% or something like that. So that's my hesitation with going after Apple and going after the NASDAQ in these price points. That's why I'm kind of just waiting back a little bit, but it's not fun to watch this thing. Oh, let's go put in a new low again. Or close to a new low as it gets back towards 44.70. It is bouncing 5 points now, so maybe there is hope that it bounces back up and I get a fill in the 90s, but wait and see is the approach here.
Wait and see. No, I'm down with you on all of those fronts here, but I'm just getting set up here for Apple, putting in some trade here for that name as, here comes the market back up. So we'll try another short on Apple. You know, and again, we are just hovering around view. Like if we break these, we're out. That's what I was just double checking, this 170.60 level to make sure that we do have stop orders to get out there. But I screwed up on the share amount there, so I got to fix that. Okay, so right now 170, we will take an average in. I just put an offer at 170.30, which is right at this 50 period, so it looks like we'll probably get that in about a minute here, or a minute, maybe 5 seconds. We'll get that short. Maybe I don't want to miss this. Let's just put it a little bit lower here for Apple, and if we can get it again, And again, it's just about the share sizes that you use, right? So we're going to try to get this. We were waiting at 30 there. Now we're waiting at 20 to see if we can get this Apple short. We just missed it. That's okay. Hopefully it'll bounce back up here. We'll be able to get that one in. As the futures are looking to take out that 50 period, which probably gives us a little bit of a rally. Everybody's screaming at me for AMD, and sorry about that. I meant to look at that one. AMD is at the bottom again. You have that 100 pin there. So, I mean, ultimately, AMD, I want to go long on this name, and like you guys know, we like to go both ways. I don't know, like, I've been looking short, and that's why I talked about that. Like, I don't have a problem going long, but at the same time, like, actually, I mean, this is kind of, we're here as day traders, and honestly, like, this is a pretty good day trade setup right here. This $100 bottom coming through on AMD. I mean, obviously, I would love a 105 break. That's not going to be happening anytime soon. It's just, I wasn't looking at the long because I'm holding the Apple short, to be completely honest with you. And I think that's what we battle with here as day traders all the time is, I can't believe I didn't get that Apple reload. Hopefully we will. Is that, you know, where do we put our money and in which direction do we put it? And like Arun mentioned there, a strong index name with AMD and Apple as well. I mean, AMD maybe doesn't have the percentage in the portfolios of the indexes, but they do follow. You can see NVIDIA, Micron, all the semis definitely like going when the market goes. So we're going to watch out here for AMD. If it comes back into $100.60 or so, we are taking that bid. So if it comes back in, we will take that. There's the fill here on AAPL. We just got that, so let's put another bid down. I mean, wow, what a good move out right there, down to 07 there. Is that what we got? Yeah, okay, so nice little bid there down into 07. So let's see now if we can get 170 flat on the reload. Remember, we're taking this out if we break through 170.50. So this is only going to be 25 cents worth of risk. So if we can start taking some 25-cent profit, I believe that's what we'll wind up doing. And one more before we go over to Neil here, unless Arun wants to chime in here before we go. Robinhood is in a reload spot right now. We do have a decent sized position on this, so watch out for Robinhood. Taking out 1150 won't be nice. So if that happens, we're going to have to get out of that one. But right now, Robinhood on a reload. Anything before we go to Neil?
No, we go to Neil.
All right, Neil Roberts, let's go.
Small cap recap. If Robinhood's back at 1150, I probably need to get back to the seat in a second to get more shares to the short side. We'll see. ATER, this is going to be on the radar as well. Gapping up once again, $5, a pretty key level. You can see it's already put a wick top at 5, looking like it's doing a little bit of head and shoulders. I like the consolidation short right around this price. If it breaks 5, it's got room to go to the upside. So next one here, MDVL. We battled this one. We had some shorts in the morning. We took some out at 175. We had a short off of 2. It took out the high of the day. That stopped out. It then put a failed break at 2.25. So we're able to get back in where you did see it fail again at $2 and now running to the upside. So I did put a short on that got stopped out at the high. And then another one right in here at the top. If we break through this current high of the day, I think you got to take it off until $3. Lots of room to $3 here. So if it doesn't fall from here, it looks like $3 is the next level. And last one, I'm going to give you BFRI from yesterday. It had that big run to 440 and then did fall off. Pretty much the only trade I got on in the afternoon was BFRI. Gapping up again, and very similar to what we talked about with ATER. You've got a top at 560. You've got the lower high, and it capitulated. Now you've got a double bottom and the same level, lower high being put in at 540. So like the short from here, if it takes out 560, watch out. That's a good double bottom that it's put in for base right at yesterday's highs, but it hasn't broken out just yet. Needs to take out 560. Can be shorted with 20 cents worth of risk at 540.
Oh, man. Yeah, thanks, Neil. Yeah, good advice there on BFRI, a name that we haven't looked at. I just said to Arun, damn it, I thought I had the 47 break loaded up on Twitter. But now that I look at it, I mean, that is taking out that 50 period. Now I'm going to play a little more momentum, kind of breaking through VWAP now. We missed that 47 trade. I probably would have scalped some out. And again, we are short the market right now just by proxy, like we like to say here, with Apple. So, it's not moving. Like, I don't know what else to tell you guys here. Robinhood, Neil, you might have, I don't know if you missed that reload or not, but it's starting to fall back in a little bit here. So I'm not even on Robinhood. Sorry, guys. Let me show you guys that right now. There it comes back in now into VWAP again. So we'll take another piece out of Robinhood. We're short 40 now as it's coming down. Believe it or not, I'm at I mean, I guess you can believe it. I have these winners on, but I'm at the highest spot I've been at all day right now. So yeah, we're rocking today again, man. Couldn't be happier. And this is why I think, Arun, we have to talk a little bit sometimes about our net not being that important. like, if there's opportunities there, then we'll strike with vengeance, right?
Yeah.
But like when the futures and when the stocks that we're looking at really aren't doing anything, it could be like yesterday you could make $1,000 and actually trade better today, but make $500. Like you have to take what the market gives you right now. And it's like if Apple tanks or some of your positions tank or rip, vice versa, then yeah, you're gonna have monster winners on. But again, we just try to trade the price action. We use a little technical analysis to look at some of these levels. And I think so far today, man, like we're doing pretty damn good. The only thing we've really screwed up on today was PaySafe down here. And again, not a big position, but it's going to be a negative name for me, obviously, on this reload. Like, what is now it's gone to sleep now, PaySafe? Like, action in the morning and now absolutely nothing. So I'm actually going to change up my strategy now, just to tell you guys, because we're on Apple right now, 20 cents in the money with a 20-cent stop, so 1-to-1 right now on Apple. But I'm just going to give PaySafe to this bottom. If you take down 320 PaySafe, we're going to get out of this. It's just I don't want to let like the Robinhood money, the Apple money, and the Twitter money go to waste here by me trading PaySafe, which I actually don't like the stock. I just, now that we have a management change, we'll see what happens here. So I think PaySafe is executing properly. I talked about that with their online gambling. That was the main reason I got into PaySafe to begin with. But again, SPACs have been getting killed. So PaySafe, no different right there. What the hell was that on the NASDAQ? Big time spike up right there.
Yeah, NASDAQ bouncing back from the support zone, right? All the way from 14.4 down to 14.2. If you want to catch a bounce, that's probably the area you're going to catch it. Market's moving up. That means a lot of these names that weren't doing too well are now bouncing.
Yeah,
Disney,
yeah,
that was out $1 is now a penny in the money, but I have taken hits now on Team. Team decided it wanted to go up before the market even moved up. It moved through that 280, so I'm out of Team. We're going to walk away from that one. Etsy's also now moving against me. Etsy's moving back towards that 119. So Etsy's moving in the opposite direction. So as the entire market as a whole moves back to the upside, a lot of these names that were doing their own little thing have now decided that they want to join in and go with the market to the upside. So I'm still going to fade this. If I'm going to get run over, let me get run over on the futures, because the stocks are going to do what they're going to do. But on the future side of things, I am going to play the short side move, see if we can actually get a move going to the or fading any sort of move to the upside. But I am going to kind of play the long side slightly with Disney, right? That's it. That's all I'm going to do in terms of stock picks. In terms of new positions, I don't know what I could take. I'm noticing that Shop is down 4.5%, down $29, about to take. Well, it bounced off that 610, but Shop's down. It did get close to that 600 actually. So 600 might be something to watch on Shop. That's one Team. We tried Team already. We tried Crowd earlier, and we walked away with $1 after it was like $5 in the money. Crowd came back from that high at 227. So Crowd is done for me. With that move at 227, I have nothing to do with Crowd anymore. Target's up huge though, 2.3%. Running strong, but it seems like it was mostly off. I see the chart now. It bounced a little bit to that 231 area off the open and then bounced back towards the highs and going with the rest of retail, right? We saw Kroger, we saw, Costco yesterday. There's a huge run happening, and I guess Target decided it wants to get going. Let's take a quick look at Walmart, actually. Where's Walmart? Walmart's actually down to, flat, 0.08%. Walmart, a strong runner in the last little bit. This is what the daily looks like, because that's nuts. From what day was this? The 28th of March, we were down at 143.5. We're at 156.70 now. That's a crazy run in a short span. So here's Walmart taking a break after quite the run. So as the market's moving up, a lot of these runners that have been moving on the multi-day front have decided they wanted to take a break, and then you have new leaders taking off to the upside. It looks like retail is going to be heading towards Costco. Kroger, Target today is running to the upside. So a lot of names to watch in that front. You just have to cycle through at times.
I'm kind of torn here because new position alert, and we're going to go awesome because there it is, Twitter. Let's go, boom, right there as Twitter. New position alert, taking out that 47.25. We called that play. That's the name that we wanted to get long if it did take that level out. I talked about missing that 47, but now look, 47's held a couple times, so obviously we will look to rinse and repeat that. But this is going to be our out, though. Like if we break back below here, 46.90 or so, we will get out of this trade. So we're going to watch out for that one as it's trying to make some moves back up to the upside now. 18 cents in the money on that trade. And Apple, okay, we're reloaded right here on Apple. Our last position right here at 33. It did just tick down into sub 20 there, which would have given us a winner. But we're going to hold this one and see if it breaks back to the upside there. 170.60, possible breaker 19. Do you read right now for Apple? That's going to be the outside move on Apple if we do get that. But without any further ado, it's Neil at the big desk. What up?
Thank you there, Sean. Just going to go, Terrian's still testing that $5 level. Looks like it's about to get there, but 480. I'm about to put the short on. If it breaks out the top, could be a long. But hey, it's 10:30 already, which means we are under an hour till Europe closes. Let's get a check on what's going on across the pond from Ms. V.
Hey Neil, European markets are positive with the forecast on French elections. Telecom Italia is down more than 2% after it rejected $11 billion offer from KKR. Back to you.
Ooh, rejecting offers in this market. We'll see how that one goes for them there. But obviously, interesting to follow that election. Lots still happening in the overall market. I just want to also go to MDVL before. It's still running, still very strong volume, but it's starting to level off at the first lower high at 240. If this one can take out the top, remember, room to $3 on MDVL. Crazy, crazy volume. Slightly dipping here on the volume take, so it might be starting to fall.
All right. Yeah, thanks, Neil. Okay, so some of the updates here that I have for you guys. Yeah, like, honestly, what the heck is Robinhood doing right now? We got the reload. It came back in. We got some 32s. And right now it's looking like it wants to take out 50. So your boy's out of this name if we take down 50 for sure. I was not expecting this. It's a nice move up here in the futures. I wouldn't mind if we kept fall back in here. I am going to take some out. We've bounced off here at 44. If we get a 44 print, we'll take it back down in here. So if we can get that print, thank you. We'll take some out for Robinhood. As here we go. Looks like we'll... Yeah, no, we will not get some. Oh, there it is. That's it. Just prints everything. Okay, so we did get some out there on Robinhood. And again, I'm not afraid of this trade. It's just, we will take out 50. And then I'm kind of waiting for something like this to happen again. So if this happens, I'm going to be short again. So sort of the logic that I have here is that, let's get out, still have a very, very profitable day on Robinhood here. We're only short at 40. It's going to be a 10-cent hit. I mean, these are 30, 40, 50-cent winners right here. So we'll take out 10-cent hit here on Robinhood on less shares. I mean, we've been getting out. Reloaded there, out for nice And again, like that's a reload at 40, and then this out is 33, and this out is 31 or 32. So we're just going to give back sort of right now. Okay, here it comes back in now. So hopefully this will give us that, push down that we need here for Robinhood. And by the way, Apple, yeah, buddy. Wow, like Arun, I don't know. I shouldn't say you're good luck. We've been having some good days here with Neil, and I don't think it matters who's in the cockpit here. But yeah, nice little move back down for Apple. And I don't know, man, we just got that 07 bid there. Sometimes you got to put bids out for Apple because as the NASDAQ wanes back and forth here, one little spike down, the machines will hit these high beta names, right? Like an Apple. What symbol are you looking for there that's not loading? Are you having quote problems or with that? Look at your team. There.
Oh, I didn't even bother.
Okay. I was going to say, I don't want to throw to you if you're having a system problem there. But, okay, so Robinhood didn't break 40 there. So, hey, it went right back to our spot. Let's get out another piece if it does go back into 40. But I do have that stop north side here, Arun, of 1150. It's not to get out of everything, but it's to get out of 75% of my trade on a 50 break for Robinhood.
All right, so we finally picked up our first leg. I'm going to wait a little bit more to get the rest of it. But first leg of the futures, we are short now in front of a 44.90. You guys can see that? Yeah, that's that red arrow right there. So we are short in front of that 44.90. We're going to work it all the way back up through the zone here. What zone am I referring to? The one that I've been talking about for 3 days now, or 2 days now. It's this area right here, right? We're going to short it right into this, and that's what I'm doing. 45 north of 30 is going to be the exit point on this, so it's going to be a decent risk profile. So first leg is in. Depending on how we trade, I kind of hesitate a little bit to take all of it because of how we're moving up. I want to stall a little bit. If we can actually get a slowdown, I'll take the rest of it south of that 90 area. But give it a chance. See if it's got anything left in the tank and it wants to give me a better price. I'll take more. Right, the whole plan was to average this, so I have, even if it runs even another 10 points, I'm still okay taking a short pretty much from where we are right now, anywhere inside of this. So I've started here, right at the edge of this, but we can keep going all the way up through here, and I'll still start working some shorts in. through there. So here we are with our first leg. Finally, it only took us an hour and a half to get this position since we actually moved through here, but we've gotten it finally, and hopefully we get that movement that we're looking for. HPQ still out, Disney still out, 14 cents on Disney. Etsy out 244. Etsy's moving unusually strong through this area. Now, I was not looking forward to this kind of movement. I was looking for us to kind of stall out a little bit as we move through these 118s, but damn, we've got some strength here. So Etsy moving strong, but again, our stop is north of, I gotta clarify this actually, where did I put the stop on this? Yeah, the stop on this is gonna be just north of 120 and change. So it's gonna be up here so I can actually participate in somewhat of a bottom that we put in yesterday around that 119, try to use that as resistance as well, right? So I'll try to catch some of that. If we get through 120 and change, we'll get it out. A lot of times you might see me say, oh, 120 and change or whatever. That's just for me to protect myself from stop hunters. We don't know who's watching what, so let's not worry about that. But generally speaking, it's in that area. That's all. I'm always going to talk about general areas.
Yeah.
Right. We're not going to get. I'm not going to get.
Well, we also talked about you don't want to put your stop orders either at obvious levels because that is like what we're. And what you're talking about with stop hunters is just the fact that look, we don't think any of you guys are going to run out any of our trades, are you? But at the same time, it's like if we give you the exact levels that we're looking at, then yeah, someone could hit it and then it goes away, forces us to get out. I mean, I think we've seen that happen a lot. And it's not just obviously our viewers or anything like that. It's just like, hey, that's a part of the game. And there's only one market. And when you're trading that market, you have to be careful of exactly what you're doing. We did just reload Apple again. We do have that upside target to get out just in case the NASDAQ does want to fly a little higher here. I mean, I think the NASDAQ can turn positive. To say that isn't a bold statement or anything. The NASDAQ's made monster moves the last couple of days, especially near midday, which although it's 10:30 now, we actually consider this, I think it was, HFT hour started at 11 or so. So yeah, and what we mean by that is it just gets super choppy where the only thing that's really running the game there is algorithms, and we don't like that because that's those, they hunt out some of those stops like we just mentioned. Okay, quickly here, PaySafe. We took a piece out there. We did reload that at 26. Remember our average price was 37, so that's where it still is as we get out at 32. So not really taking out a big piece of that. That's another 10% out. I'm hoping that we can get back to flat. It looks like we misread that story and not as aggressive as I thought it was. But by the way, just before we go again, we're going to spin the money on Apple because it's just been a scalper's dream right here off of 170.50. And there it goes again to the downside. We got another fill there for Apple off of another reload. So far, so good there. What's up, Neil?
Yeah, just another note for oil here. Oxy up now 3%. It's a bit of a rebound in crude, but the bigger news, Oxy double top at 59.80, and you'll see on the daily chart, big level at 59.80 as well. So we take that out, you could see 60. The recent highs were at 62. Lots of room still to the upside. Looks like Uncle Warren wins again with Occidental.
When doesn't that man win?
When doesn't he win? Exactly.
Right there, just an update. We did get out of Twitter there as it took down that 47. What can we do? I'm not going to get back into this name again. Like we had some good calls early, and then we went long, dump, long again. The good thing we got some out there, but that was really lucky to get out there at 40. So I don't think that we've misplayed Twitter at all. It's just it's not moving, and it's in this range. It's a sideways move for Twitter today. It looks like it's down 2%, but again, we opened up right here at 47.20. So really, we're just traveling 25 cents right now on Twitter, and I'm like losing 25 cents just by getting in and then getting out there again. So for right now, Twitter will just be sort of a name that we'll leave alone until we get a drastic move one way or the other. And then just a quick update on Mr. Hood. It did come back down, man, and we took some out again ahead of VWAP at that 37 level. So now we're heading back down. We have a short at 40. So far, so good on this one. And then Apple, like, honestly, man, this is just bouncing around, Arun, and I know you've talked about the futures a lot today, and until we get some sort of directional move here, I'm just going to keep scalping this and then trying to hold on to half of it in case we get that move down. So that's when we might play in Apple. It's my number one stock, even though you're seeing this, and this is what I'm talking about with scalping. We go short there twice, right? Get them all out at this shelf here at 170, and then when it dips down, we still have some on board. So there's a 76, there's a 58, there's a 23. So you're talking about making dollars here when our risk was literally literally is now literally 15 cents and always was. So when we can make $1, which is 100 cents, with our risk being only 15 cents, we do that, man. And do we clean it out? No, we don't. Like, we never have the full position on. And that's part of what Arun and I differ a little bit. He's looking for those monster moves, and then when it goes in the money, you're wanting to get it to escalate more and more and more, right? Some days, different strategies work out, and you could see today, good trading, both sides here, but different stocks. And even Neil, when he came with his small cap recap, neither one of us have really looked at that BFRI or anything too small today. So there is something, and here comes Apple right now. Again, another 20-cent win for Apple, if we can get that back down to 170. So we're already 1-to-1 on this trade again. So Apple continues to be a profitable name for us. Let's just see if we can't get a bigger move to the downside or to the upside, one way or the other. Maybe we'll break, Neil. What do you think here? That board looks pretty mixed. Let's go over to the big screen with Neil.
It's super mixed, and you got to really pick your spots there. Overall, I mean, tech is weak, and look, ISP's only down like less than 0.25%, but you do have tech names under pressure. NVIDIA down 4%, Micron 2%, AMD down just over 2%. So lots of weakness in that space. You do have some, like we said earlier, some of the retail names and consumer discretionary. Best Buy up 2.5%, Target up 2.5%, Home Depot up 2.5%. Downside, Etsy. Etsy sticks out as down the 2% in that particular group. You have some strength once again, a little bit in healthcare. You have Moderna up 3%, Gilead looking pretty strong. But look at the energy sector. Remember we talked about Oxy. Halliburton's also up 3% over there. Pretty much across the board. Maybe that's why Berkshire is looking pretty strong today, as they're doing rather well. You do see Twitter down in your media and consumer names. Obviously, Discovery is going to be up 5%. They closed their deal. That's why the positive look for them. Some of the materials names looking overall pretty strong, as well as the sector. They tend to have been doing pretty well, along with oil and energy as well. Consumer staples, we talked about Kroger in there. See them up that 3%. It is a mixed board. You got your tech names down, you got your consumer names up, you've got energy looking very, very strong. So you've got to pick your spots. That's why we go over what is moving, because market pretty flat.
Yeah, and this market's trying to figure out what it wants to do with these 90s, which is perfect. Somebody in the chat was mockingly saying, please keep going short. Sure, I'll take leg number 2 in front of these 90s if I can
I'm
get
reloading the shorts.
I'll take some shorts. So if you want to run me over,
like the Rock.
I'm waiting. But this is the read that I'm going to make on this market, right? So which is the bounce, the fade of the bounce because of what we've been doing around this area for a while. Let me actually pull up the chart so you guys actually can see what I'm talking about, which is, maybe we'll go to the 30-minute chart. And I keep referring to this as well. You see the action we're getting around 30, right? Or not 30, 44.90 into the 4500s. Stop was going to be 45.30. We tried above yesterday, and you asked me right at the end of the day, what are you going to do if it actually gets into that zone and comes back out?
Yeah,
or comes back underneath.
That's what's happening.
And that's happening right now. And I mentioned I'm going to short this on a pop, and that's exactly what I'm waiting to do, which is short this right through this 44.90 into 4,500. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's part of the game, but you got to take your shots. If the read is there, and this is how you read the market, and this is how you want to look at your charts, and it's right in front of you and everything's setting up, why would you not take it, right? That's part of the game, and you have to take the downside or the losses with the gains, but you can't have the gains if you don't take the shot, right? So here we are waiting for this one to give me number 2, leg number 2 I'm going to take if I can get that in front of those 90s one more time. We're 5 points in the money, but I want more. I've started to see enough that, you know what, I can start taking the rest of my position around this price. So I am waiting to get the rest of this here in front of these 90s and see if we can't ride this one. If it takes all day, it takes all day, but I will ride this one out.
All right, come on, Apple. We are sitting here at one. Someone said, is it hoodie day? Yeah, it's hoodie day. We got our hoodie on right now. We're trying to represent the Trader TV Live merchandise right here, as it's Merchandise Friday. But yeah, let's bring it. We said like the Rock. Let's bring it right now to the short side. I mean, if it's breaking down, it's breaking down, and it is what it is right now. So yeah, like we said, bang. There it is, another 30 cents on Apple. And look, like, you want to hold the rest? Let's hold the rest now. Now we have half left. Let's hold this thing. We're waiting for another reload. But look, Apple's been a scalper's dream today, and that's what your boy's doing, and that's what I do best. So Apple just cleaned this up. Numerous trades today on Apple. I mean, just alone 33 fills on Apple today with none of them. Like, look at all these shorts, man. Good short day here today coming through. And then, lucky or not, You know, Robinhood, man. I mean, it came right to that level. The only thing that I screwed up on was not reloading more. But at that time, it was like, okay, Robinhood, maybe you made that bottom and you came right back to 1150, but that should have been a reload. So I think, and again, it's not going to be my most frustrating stock of the day or anything like that because, quite frankly, we're destroying Robinhood today, but at the same time, why was I getting so cautious there? I even was like, Neil, hey man, Robinhood's at that 50 level, and he was like, let's reload this. We did reload it, but we had multiple opportunities there, and that should be a short, not an out. But we did talk about why we got out there, and I'm not going to cry over spilt milk. I mean, it's still a monster trade. We're 17 cents in the money on Robinhood when the range today is like 40 cents. So I think we got a pretty good trade happening right now. And by the way, Apple, see ya. Let's see if we get back to some of these lows. I will put another bid here for that 80-cent winner down here near 169.60. So let's put a bid there. And let's go over to everyone's favorite host, Miss V.
Thank you, Sean. I actually have great news. Our Trader TV Live Instagram page reached 7,000 followers. Thank you so much, everyone. Make sure you're a follower of our Instagram accounts, as every day we post fun and interesting content. And guys, please make sure you like this video. Today's Friday, and we need your help and support. Just 400 more likes to 2K. Back to you.
We're not getting enough likes. What happened? All right, futures market bouncing back up, so I'm waiting for my next set of fills here.
Ooh, yeah, nice
on
bounce.
this futures bounce. It bounced, it got as low as 83 something. Now we're back to like 87 and change. Get to 90s, I'll take another leg. If it keeps going, I'll take some more. If I can get maybe price it closer to 4,500 and change. But this is the read that I'm going to make, and I'll stand by it. If I lose, I lose. But that's what we're going to go with. We're still got HBQ has started to go in the money now. Let's take a quick look at some of these stock names because hey, orders are in on the futures. You just got to wait for the fill at this point. HBQ, where's I'll put it on the Etsy. Actually, no, I'll put it on the Disney one. Disney's not helping at all. So HBQ on New York. It went as high as 40. That would put it out 50 cents. But remember, the read on HBQ was to go with this, to kind of continue yesterday's short, right? Went for the short initially south of 39, didn't work out obviously, but then we were keeping an eye on this 40 area. Why? Because if you go to HBQ on the daily and you see what this 40's been bringing to the table, a lot of resistance in front of it. So, and then we tried to kind of snap above on the 30th, got shaken back down, and then we tried again in the pre-market yesterday, and then we broke under 39. That's why I went for the short, but then we kind of reloaded and took off the top, but then still failed below 40, which makes me think, hey, you know what? This 40 is obviously much bigger. It's got a lot of flexibility, so I want the short where I can get it. I'm not gonna hope to get 40. I'll take my 39.50s, which is why I have 39.47. I'll take that, and then obviously when you do something like that, you have to be aware that it can clearly go against you into that resistance level that you've been eyeing and not willing to wait for, right? And that's perfectly fine, but HBQ doing exactly what I needed to do. Now, if we can get through that 39 to the downside, we can open up a little bit because the daily is just waiting to break down. We just needed to break down through that 39. We should open up the door a little bit. I think yesterday we noticed that it wasn't even 39 exactly, it was like 38 or so where we bounced in the pre-market. So 39 would open the door, 38 would open the floodgates to the downside on HBQ. So here we are waiting for that one. Futures now 7 points in the money, but hey, I don't want 7 points. I want the rest of my fills. Forget the 7 points. I want the rest of my fills. That's what I care about more because I want more around these prices, and that's what I'm trying to do.
More.
See if we can grab. Give me more. So anywhere, if we need to spend like half an hour building up a decent move or a decent position around these 44.90s, I'll take it. But for the time being, it is up 7 points.
You guys want one? You guys want one? You guys want one? You guys want one? Let's go bang right now as we find it on our board right there and we take out our Apple trade. But you might have heard me out of my breath, under my breath there say, damn it, we did have too many bids again down here. So we did get out of our Apple trade, double the out right there where there was support, man. Thank you to Josh as well in the chat. I mean, you know, I like that support level right there. So now it's going to look like, okay, I got back into the short, so now my price is going to be obviously a little misleading to where we're actually trying to hold this name from, but that's fine. I still like Apple. If Apple comes back up, we will get out at this level, but we are hitting our net here a little bit, but we did get doubled out there for big time win on our Apple trade. So yeah, we are now officially out of the Apple, but we did reload back in out of this top shelf level. But now we're back in right now as these futures trying to hover there. I'm going to use now this as my out. This 50 period, 170.20. I'm not going to give it back to the upside here. If we break back down below one or above this 170.21, we'll get out and then we'll think about a reload back to the upside here. So we don't want this thing to keep on running against us. No more reloading Apple. That was a nice move down. I think we've done the damage on this name for sure. We'll do a little Masters update as well when we get back from Neil and happening now.
It's Money Talks, but it's all good. I just saw Justin in the building. He just walked past you guys, but say what's up to him in a bit. U.S. dollar getting some of its strength back today. You'll see it up across the board. Pretty much everything else is going to be down. U.S. dollar strength, the Canadian dollar weakness, euro weakness, pound, yen as well. Bit of a bounce again. I mean, just strength in the ruble. Go figure. But we have some moves in crypto. You're going to have Ethereum a little bit stronger than Bitcoin. That's why I pulled it up here. We did pull back off that 3,500, and then we've come right back into the previous highs at 32.5 and have been holding that base. Now, the same thing is sort of happening in Bitcoin as well, although it's holding below that previous high. So some relative strength happening in Ethereum. I'm also going to absolutely sell out one of the traders who looks like they're watching videos instead of trading right now. So check that up behind you guys. What's going on?
What is going on? Futures taking off to the upside. So yeah, grab that short. Still within the bands, right? I'm working the bands, so unfortunately the band's wide. So here we are waiting for, I can keep averaging this because that's kind of the plan here on the futures as it takes off to 4,500. I wonder if there's news because this is unusually volatile.
This is a big move right here.
Yeah, this is a huge move. That's like 10, 15, no, not even 15 points, like 13 points or so. Actually, no, not even. It's, yeah, it's about 13, 14 points or so from that bottom, but it's running up strong. Hey, I'm okay with the short. I'll hold on to the short. Somebody was asking about Home Depot. Home Depot, remember, I was short on Home Depot yesterday through that 296, and then it rallied up, obviously. If Home Depot, and the way I'm looking at the daily is if Home Depot can get past this area right here, which is this, 310 obviously has been a problem on the way down. Yeah, on the way down with support. And then we finally got underneath it. And now if we can't continue to sell and we're going to break back above that 310 into that 312, preferably 312. The reason I say 312, if you zoom the chart out, you see the hesitation here. A lot of it's around 310, but there's a lot of bouncing between 310 and 312. So for me, if you can clear 312 to the upside, then we can actually set up a decent buy-side move on Home Depot on the daily, which then opens the door for the upside. But at the same time, once you clear it, you need it to come back down a little bit so you can price the risk properly, right? So that's kind of the issue with Home Depot. But I've also blacklisted Home Depot from my trading, intraday trading anyways. So I won't be trading on this on the intraday. The only reason I'm bringing it up is because there was a question in the chat regarding Home Depot because of yesterday's trade that I had. But going forward, I won't be looking at it. But 312 is the area to watch. If we can get above it and then get a decent move back to the downside, that could actually give you a decent long on the daily setup with a good risk profile as well. So future side, somebody asked for, hey, keep going short. I'll take the short. Here we go. In front of twice now. One leg, two legs. I got a few legs left if I need to do it. Depending on how we move up and what I can price it at. But for the time being, 45.30 is going to be the exit point on these, and we're going to work these 90s, see if we can't grab any more as it keeps moving up and sets up. It needs to set up at this point. I've got what I needed around the 90s. If we're going to keep moving into the 4500s, I need it to set up as we, trade in this range.
Yeah, good call. So yeah, right now, guys, we're using 170.80 as our stop here on Apple. It's just this little shelf right there. If it breaks it, we're going to be out of this one. So we lick our wounds a little bit here on that average in. But really, I was super happy to get this out at 169.70. And again, like for everybody saying, like, keep going short, like the headline that just came out there was what? UK PM Johnson says Putin has forced Europe to rearm together. So I think that, maybe Europe comes together and then maybe that's enough to get Russia to back down. I'm guessing that's enough for that rally, and that's that move. And honestly, like, you know, I'm sorry that I couldn't predict that was going to happen, but right now we're going to wait to see if this comes back in. We did get some out. We're holding a little bit of a loser here on Apple, but again, no matter what happens, man, we're protecting our upside, and Apple's going to be my number one stock regardless if that ticks down to 170.80 or not. So we're taking one more short here in the 60s, and then hopefully we can retrace back to VWAP here, which is 170.30. That's actually where I have my bid right now. And then if we can break back down below, then we'll get real spicy with it right now. Pay safe back to the upside a little bit. There's the Apple reload. If it takes down 170.80, guys, we're out. But let's go back to Neil quickly.
Thank you very much. One last runner for you guys. Big Bear AI here breaking out. I don't really see any specific news. There was a couple of notes a couple of days ago, but strong move here. It's another low float-ish type of name, up 19%. But look at it on the daily. It's got a bit of a lower high at 14. Very big level incoming on Big Bear AI. I just love that name.
Pretty dope name.
I like that name. Quick update, but our show is about to end. We're going to go to Prad soon. Quick update on my positions. HPQ flat, Disney out 17 cents, relatively flat, and then Etsy's moving up with the market. But again, we're working these two 120s and change to figure out whether we're going to walk away from Etsy or not. So crowd's been great. Etsy and team has been a problem, and then SST, we had to do some damage control off the open because it was up $1.50, then it was down, and then we were just like, I'm done with this. So we're going to walk away from it. Futures positions, I have, as we head out soon, I have taken on a couple entries here, and then we're going to work some more entries if we can get into the 05s through the 10s here. So we're going to work this whole zone. Remember, I've been talking about this since yesterday. We're going to work this whole zone for potential shorts. I've started here at the front of it. Now we're going to work the rest of the zone for new shorts as well. And I won't give up on this until we break 44.30. If we break 45.30, then we break 45.30. That's part of, that's trading. If you're not going to take the trade, then why are you even trading? So here I am waiting for the rest of my fills. If we get the right prices with decent setups, then we're going to go with that. But until that happens, just sit back and wait.
Yeah, sit back, relax, guys, sip some cognac, as we like to say, and watch that money through the laundromat. We only have right now 3 minutes to go, but I'm just, we had PaySafe come all the way back upside. We took a 35 out there. I'm just trying to review some of the trades that we have on right now. So that's that PaySafe trade that we've got on. And then we have Robinhood, which is now 15 cents in the money. We've just been getting out of this one. When it dips, it dips. And when you dip, we dip. So there it is right there, 11.23. Let's see if we get lower lows on Robinhood. But we're going to end the day at the highest spot we've been at pretty much all day, despite Apple making a move up. I mean, this is the only name that's really we're holding right now. Apple short 59s right now on this move. So hopefully we can get back in a little bit. Remember, we take down 80 and we're gone on Apple. Let's go over to Miss V and see what day it is.
Hey guys, I hope you're having a profitable green day so far. Please make sure you like this video. We need just 100 more likes to 2K. So please, if you didn't like this video, do so. Join Prad and me right after for Market Movers. And happy National Empanada Day, everyone.
Empanadas, yes. I would like empanadas, please.
Yes. Oh, I wonder if we got our email today to see what day.
Oh,
we didn't.
I think we got it yesterday. You got to check yesterday's email.
Oh, yesterday's email. What did it say? Chicken?
I'll take a look at it. Something about chicken thighs.
It was curry chicken yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
I get that salad with the tuna.
They went with chicken thighs, I think it was.
Oh, chicken thighs. Okay,
I'm
down with some chicken thighs. Are you a thigh or a breast man?
I like both.
You like both? Yeah, me too. Okay, so that's a good one there. That should be a fun one today for our lunch. We'll stay tuned on Prad Show. They always kind of review what we get. But hey, man, what a big show. Thank you, Arun, today. Thanks for Neil for filling in for Brendan as well. It was a very, very good show. We like the empanadas, that's for sure. So that's what's today. I'm hoping that we can get Taco Tuesday. I've tried to organize that for us, but I haven't heard back from the caterer yet. So we're going to wait on that one.
Tacos? Have we ever had tacos here?
I'm just trying to make it happen. I mean, we got the viewers there. We got a shout out to Taco Eater on the chat there, and yeah, I'm trying to make that happen. So bear with me. Hopefully Tuesday will be Taco Tuesday, and you're going to be in the building, Arun. So Arun's here all next week. Yeah, what a big show. There goes. Apple takes out the top there. So we're out of Apple for right now. The futures are ripping up to the upside right now. So there goes PaySafe for us as well. Hey, it's been a big show, man. Watch out for crypto. I know we didn't cover that now today, but that's moving as well. So big show alert and a bigger show coming your way right now. Let's go over to Trader Prad and Miss V, Market Movers. Let's go.
Welcome to Market Movers. It's the final day of the week. I hope everyone's having a great day so far. It's time for the beautiful Miss V and Trader Brad.
Thank you, Brad. And indeed, guys, happy Friday to you all. Please, as usual, be active on the chat. Ask us anything. And please don't forget to like this video. Hopefully, we'll get that 1K likes ASAP today. How's it going?
Yeah, just watching the market as always right now, just looking to see